Hello, everybody. Welcome to Planet Dirty. CHH will be here pretty soon, and Brandon will be here as well. How's everybody doing this Saturday night? Can you guys hear me all right? You guys hear me? All right. Is everybody getting ready for Halloween? What? It's like a week and a half away, I think, or 2 weeks. 2 weeks away. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, hear us. Thank you so much, Allie. Hey, I see you beyond the grave. Let's see who else. Got Chris in here. Sorry, it's going fast. Adrian, what's up, my brother? Let's see here. I think, this is last minute, so I think we're talking Halloween or the topic Halloween. I'm not quite sure. Marco, how you doing?
That was 5 minutes already. Jeez.
Yeah, I know it goes by fast.
Guys, Brandon's internet is being a little wonky right now, so he should be here soon, hopefully. Hopefully he's got that worked out. Am I coming through my mic,
Yeah,
Cody? I sound good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, good deal. Get this off. I'll leave it on there. We'll see what happens. Brandon's working on it. Anyway, listen, let's get to these super chats real quick. We're going to have some fun tonight. Thank you, Jake Tilton, for becoming a new channel member. Guys, please drop a like on the show. Saturn Video, the $20 super chat. Air raid sirens blare. Fog rolls in and people are screaming outside. The Butterman rises from his chair only for his Android phone to ring. It's CHH. Brandon, get out of the house. The beta man is inside the house. God, the story keeps getting crazier and crazier with Saturn Video, dude.
Saturn, he's right. Oh man, Saturn Video is writing a script. Dang, Big Red. I need to search for that. I feel like the only time I ever really see it is in like fountains.
Look at that color.
Yeah, that's a good color. I like that can too. That's nice.
Look, zero sugar. I didn't even know that existed.
It might be new.
Zero sugar, Big Red. It's good. It's if you drink it, it's got to be cold. But if it's cold, the bite is killer on it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Saturn Video.
I feel like people sleep.
And then we got Movie Misfits with a. Hold on 1 second. Let me fix something. All right, then we got Movie Misfits with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. After hanging up the phone with Brandon, CHH gets a call himself. On the other side, it's the voice of Ric Flair saying, "Wings."
You know what reminds me of in Aladdin, where he's all like he has like the box in the beginning. And he farts real quick. That was Ric Flair with those wings. He's like, whoa.
Oh my god. Cody, thank you for being here per usual, dude.
Yeah, man.
Let me see who we got with the chat tonight. Baja Stupid Jack. Where do y'all come up with this shit? Anyway, listen, we got 102 people in here right now. Please drop a like. Brandon's not coming in until we get 100 likes, from what I understand. That's what I heard. So we have Baja Stupid Jack. We got Tiana Loves Movies. It is yummy. It really is. Razor's Edge with a yeet. What's up, Razor's Edge? Planet CHH. Did you guys see the American Psychos being remade? I heard about it. That's all I can tell you. I heard a little bit about it.
Yeah, I saw articles, but I didn't read any of them.
Wear my hat. Let me be on brand tonight. Wear my hat front facing. There we go. Where can I find that Halloween 3 bucket, CHH? I got off of Walmart.com.
This year or?
Yeah, I just got it.
Oh, wow.
It's got a Don Post Studios.
It's like an avocado from behind.
It does, doesn't it? It looks just like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so I got that off of Walmart.com for $25, I think. I liked it. I saw them and I was like, man, I'm gonna get one of them because you can get all three. I was like, I'll get one of them. Thank you so much. This is from Gutter Garbs, Friday the 13th. Cody knew the assignment. He didn't wear a Halloween shirt. It's too on brand to do a Halloween show and just wear a Halloween shirt. A hat, I'll do the hat, and it's just all it says is fucking Halloween on it. but he's rocking the pumpkin head. He's got the Halloween Havoc on. That's a killer hat. I love it. Happy Crow Timist Prince Tiana, how are you? Of course, we got Movie Misfits. Allie, how are you? Hit the like button. Who else we got here tonight? Kevin Bertani strapped in for a good one tonight. Perry Fan 49, dude, how did you ever end up watching Mortal Thoughts?
I haven't, and I'm glad you said that because I remember you saying that in a stream a while ago, and I needed to write that down. Can you send it to me on Instagram, a message saying Mortal Thoughts? Because I remember watching the trailer and I wanted to watch it, but man, I just forget real easy after this.
Jigsaw Rules, how are you? Scratch Burno, Blu-ray Addict, Marco Sorbetti, Nathan Mills. Who else we got? Beyond the Grave. It's good to see everybody here. Knife Missionary. That's an interesting title. I don't know what to think about that.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen Knife Missionary in here a lot. Anyway, listen, let's get back to it. So listen, guys, we're gonna stay on topic tonight. I'm gonna do my best. I'm really gonna try to stay on topic tonight. It's hard for me. It really is hard for me, Cody. I don't know what it is. I'm the kind of person that if you start telling me a story and then you say something that catches my interest that may not have to do with the story, I just like something about that. I just want to stop and be like, hold on, tell me about that. So the chat's going to have to stay on me tonight. They're going to have to stay on my case tonight. But Cody, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I thought we were going to do. We'll wait a few more minutes. Let me check in with Brandon. Oh, let's call him. Y'all want to call Brandon? Let's call him. Here, we're going to call him. Here we go, y'all. Let's call him and see what he's doing. Let's see what he says, Cody. Hold on.
Sounds like a spaceship.
Oh, Shanna's in the chat. Shanna, tell him to answer.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Let's see. He's not answering, y'all. Shanna's in the chat, though. Shanna, get that man a new computer. He's not answering. All right. Listen, we're gonna wait. We'll wait a few minutes. We're only at 13. We'll wait till about 20 minutes. We'll see. Let's see. He's working on it. Can I convince you to buy R? What are you talking about, Sagafoo? Can you convince me to buy R? What are you talking about? You ever watch Bigfoot movie with Alice Cooper in it? You talking about Monster Dog? If you're talking about Monster Dog, I got the poster right there. There's Alice right there, Cody.
Oh, nice.
That's Alice. Oh shit, my webcam's acting all crazy now. The Beta Man guy. That was the Beta Man. Man, thank you guys for the super chat so far, though. I appreciate that. Sorry, can you convince me to buy a Terrifier? Which one, Sagafoo? 1, 2, or 3? I need to know exactly which one you're in the market for. Then I can help you. Then I can be of more assistance to you. Cody, before we get started about these Halloween movies, because if we get Brandon in here, it's going to be, I have a great idea tonight. Because just talking about the movies is one thing, but I like steaks, and I mean that literally and metaphorically. Matter of fact, I had a steak tonight for dinner.
Dang.
I had a ribeye, medium rare, and dude, I cooked it to perfection. You know what the trick is, dude? I've actually got this figured out with steaks. You can't screw around with them. When you set them down, you have to just stop. Don't touch it. Don't move it. Set your timer at the exact temp. You have to do trial and error. Dude, I can cook the perfect medium rare steak.
Dang.
Perfect. I had a great steak today. It was fantastic.
That's how I like my steak too.
Yeah. All those Terrifiers. Geez, Sagafoo. Well, do you like Cody, you convinced him to buy Terrifier. I mean, where do you start?
I don't know. I like them, but it's not for everyone. So it all depends on if you want to be talked in. You know, some people think that if you like them, you're like a demon or whatnot, but I like them. So I don't know if you like them and you want someone to talk you into why they like them. So, that's a loaded question.
Go watch my review for it, Sagafu. Go watch my review for Terrifier. I've reviewed every Terrifier film.
I do have a question about steak though for you there.
Please go ahead, because don't worry, chat. We're gonna talk Halloween tonight. I'm killing time for Brandon to get in here. I'm killing time.
So steak. Do you put sauce on it? Like when you're done, when you're about to eat, do you take out the steak sauce and use steak sauce on it?
I have a controversial opinion on this.
Okay, because I feel like I have a controversial opinion on this.
If you need steak sauce or anything on it, you didn't cook it or season it right.
Okay, so whenever I go, because I'm a sauce guy, and I will get sauce before I even try it. I like things spicy, so I always want steak sauce and whatnot. And every time I get sauce, like my friend is always offended. But like even if we're at like if we're at like Texas Roadhouse, when it comes up, can I get some steak sauce and a Tabasco sauce? And he's like, man, you're not supposed to put that stuff on steak. I was like, I don't know, man. It's on the table. I take it.
Well, I mean, let me put it to you like this, and that's it. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna make a thing about it. If I'm eating dinner with you and you do it, I don't care. But for me, I feel.
See. So like, say I was eating dinner over at Christian's house, and he made steak. And it's just in my mind, I always go for steak sauce. So if I ask for steak sauce, I would not want to offend you, but it would be offensive to somebody who made you a steak if you use sauce on it, right?
Probably not offensive in that like I would legitimately be offended. For me, I was raised, if you need sauce, that means it's not cooked right because you're losing all your juice. The steak's dry. So that's the way I roll. Yeah. Now I'll tell you this, dude. You give me A1 sauce with French fries, steak fries, that's where the money's at. I like A1 sauce. I haven't tried that Heinz 57 stuff though. Isn't it supposed to be like a steak sauce?
It is, but you're gonna want your A1 after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's more of like a sweet kind of sauce. I like the thick and bold. Well, the bold and the beautiful.
Let's see what Brandon just said. He's saying nothing's loading on his computer. Nope, there he is. As soon as I say that. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Try as ye will, try as you might. The butterman will be naked and afraid all night. But
hey, man.
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Can you see me?
I see a black screen. I see you guys, but I don't see myself.
We see you just fine, dude.
And you can hear us?
I can hear you.
You want to just roll with it, Brandon?
What the hell is going on with this computer, dude?
I don't know. Brandon, are you on your Chromebook?
Not yet. Now we can't see it. Yeah, it looks like you keep turning it off.
I can see myself now.
All right.
Okay. Anyways, all right. Well, hello, boys.
We're good enough. All right, Brandon. Hey, take your time, dude. If you want to take your time, do what you need to do. I mean, it's like you had internet, but like your screens just like weren't loading on your computer or something.
Yeah, Facebook would not load, and then by the time it loaded, it wouldn't load any messages, so I couldn't find the link or anything.
Oh.
I was like, Facebook? How does Facebook have to do with this? Well, I see the link.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 130 people in here. Let's get those likes up because I'm in a foul mood tonight with these Halloween films. And Brandon, I haven't started the games yet. Do you have any preliminary speeches you had written for this show tonight, or?
I'm not even sure what the show's about, so no.
He told me to wear loafers or so. Or slacks. I was like, I
told you to wear dress slacks. Listen. 70 likes, 133 people. This is bullshit. Listen. All right, Brandon, listen. You ready for this, Brandon?
Oh yeah.
Cody, listen up. I want to. This is how we're doing this tonight. All right, people whine, they piss, they moan, they complain that Planet Dirty never covers Halloween. They say, Christian, all y'all talk about is Friday the 13th. All y'all talk about is burgers. All y'all talk about is chicken McSandwiches. All y'all talk about is soda pops. You never talk about Michael Myers. So guess what? We're actually going to talk about it tonight, but there's a stipulation with tonight's show. Number one, I'm not going to do this thing where I say, okay, guys, Halloween 1978. Brandon, you go first, then I'll go. Fuck all that bullshit. This is the Wild West. We're just going to start talking about some of these movies. I don't want any bullshit. If you don't like a movie, if you think something sucks, I want you to say it with your chest, number one. And number two, just to spite my own fucking audience. Every Halloween film we talk about tonight, Brandon, you're going to take the Friday the 13th numerical counterpart, and you got to tell me if that Jason film is better than that Halloween film. So fuck all of y'all. Fuck everybody tonight. All right, you understand me? So, Brandon, Halloween Ends is the only one that doesn't have a Friday the 13th counterpart tonight. So we're going to start with Halloween Ends.
Okay.
All right? And I'm going to save you for last. Actually, I'm just kidding. No. Let me ask you a question, Cody, before we even get to this. Did you like Halloween Ends? Did you like it?
I did. I liked it.
Tell me why you like it.
Dude, I thought it was a great different installment. I understand
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I understand why people don't like it because it's like the epic conclusion.
Just say Brandon. Say, I don't understand what Brandon's fucking deal is with this movie.
So, dude, the beginning of the movie, like the opening scene, I'm just like, oh fuck, like we're about to, like this is about to go off. And then, like, I'm a huge Corey fan. I'm Team Corey all the way. I understand why people don't like it because it should have been like the final movie. This should have been maybe the middle one, but I do really like it a lot. I thought the kills were really cool. I thought it was fun, but I guess for an epic conclusion, maybe it fell short for some people. But Halloween is not my number one franchise. It's my third favorite franchise.
Listen. Okay, Brandon, just have a seat for a second. Let me steer this ship. Here's the thing. I don't hate this movie, Cody. I swear to God, God is my witness. I don't hate Hands. I think out of the three, it's one of the more interesting ones to watch, especially if you're just a casual person that's not really into these movies. I can see my mom watching this, which she watched 2018. This is what all the normal people did, Brandon. The normal people said, "Oh, Halloween's back. Let's go see it." They never saw Kills or Ends. You fucking joking? They saw 18, they moved on, right? The normal people did. But I could see my mom watching this and liking it out of the three because she loves Jamie Lee Curtis, and she would probably be able to relate to the human aspects of like the kid, not blah, 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 blah. This is the last time I'm ever going to rant about this. This is the last time. Cody, you're strolling down the street on Halloween night and some jackass tries to start killing you. He goes to jail. He's locked up. And then you go crazy for years shooting mannequins in the backyard, going down to the freaking Harbor Freight once a week to get more fencing and compost, and you live like Turok. Then when the rat bastard is on the loose, you decide to grow your hair out and, or excuse me, you try to get your hair cut nice every week at the parlor, and then you
start celebrating Halloween.
Guys!
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck?
Start celebrating Halloween.
I mean, Brandon, is that the crux of your issue? Is that it, or is it something else?
I have a whole bunch of cruxes with Halloween Ends.
I don't think you do. I think you actually like the bastard.
He has the steelbook of it. He loves it.
Brandon, make this the once and for all. Settle the score once and for all on this, because you know what? I'm sick of this bullshit.
Do I have time to ramble? Do I have time to ramble?
Does your internet have time to ramble?
I don't know. I'll ramble for as long as it holds out. I'm going to say the same things I've told you guys, you and Cody both, and the audience 100 times over, and I'll say it again, I'm sure. Halloween Ends is a competent film. in and of itself. Halloween Ends is not the conclusion to the trilogy we were promised, especially with that ending set up at the end of Kills. Ends would have been a great surprise fourth entry if they wanted to sort of re-kickstart the franchise, sort of a la New Beginning, Friday the 13th. It would have been a good fourth film, I think. Make some tweaks. Maybe Michael Myers is already dead by this point. Corey finds the mask in the sewer. Whatever you want to do. The film would have been better as a fourth entry after the actual legacy of Myers is over. Before I get into the nitty gritty about why I hate fucking Ends.
You bet, dude. You better hate it.
Before I get into the nitty gritty, I got to say that with the ending of Kills, we got Super Saiyan Michael Myers. He's butchering like 40 people from a lynch mob all at once. He goes and kills Karen Strode in the Myers house. He's souped up. The next movie should have taken place again on the same night. It should have been Laurie versus Michael. Basically just them and a few other people, because most of the town is either dead or at the hospital, fighting this incredible force, because obviously at the end of Kills, it suggested that he's killed so many people all at once that he's like unbeatable now. He literally is like a Super Saiyan. And I was just waiting for this huge stylistic epic conclusion to that story. And I really feel there was no need to jump ahead 4 years. Just because in real life we went through COVID, that has no bearing on a fictitious story. They didn't need to make a time jump because of that. That's like the dumbest excuse I heard come out of Gordon Green's mouth. One of many.
I heard rumors that they were gonna actually make COVID a part of Halloween Ends for like a couple months. I kept hearing about that. I don't know if that was ever true, but I remember hearing about that all the time.
Yeah, it's just dumb. I think Corey, whether you like him or hate him, I think it was fucking stupid that he wasn't in the first two movies. If you're going to do that, I think it probably would have made more sense if they didn't kill the boyfriend off in part 2 and had him be the Corey character in this movie. That would have made a lot more sense to me from a narrative standpoint.
They kind of look similar, don't they?
Yeah. I don't like the fact that Michael Myers is old and reduced to this filth in the sewer. I think that's really stupid. I think the crutch of people saying, oh, he's old and decrepit, it's been 4 years, he's lost all his power, and he's just human. No, he's not. David Gordon Green and Danny McBride can talk all the shit they want about saying, oh, we made Michael Myers human in this trilogy again. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. He survived gunshot after gunshot, bludgeoning, being stabbed, burned. He is not human. He's just Michael Myers all over again. So
He's a punk
I know I'm rambling, but I hate this crutch that he's an old man by the time Halloween Ends happens. Of course he's old and can't move right and kill people. I'm like, that's just fucking stupid. From the ending of Kills, he should not be a decrepit old sewer rat. He should still be someone unstoppable. It's just dumb.
Do you think that people like I've heard this argument too, people who hate it now, because this movie wasn't well received when it came out. There's more people who didn't like it. So do you think in 20 years from now, people are going to like it like they like Halloween 3 now?
Let me tell you something, dude.
I'm not done.
Listen,
I'm not done.
Let him go. Let him go. Just, you know what? Fuck it. Let him go. Let him go. We're out of here, Cody. We're out of here.
One of the best things about the film was the soundtrack. The soundtrack by Carpenter and his son and his friend is fantastic. I get it. But the whole narrative of the story, it goes back to what you said, Christian, about let me try to put some thoughts together here, because I'm not making any sense.
Well, it's the irony of them saying, like, when they came out and somebody, I think it was Drum Dum, said he asked somebody, was this his plan all along? And the answer he got back was yes. I would have lied my ass. If it's true, I would have lied my ass off and said, no, it actually wasn't. Because, dude,
How could Laurie Strode have moved on 4 years later? She should have been. I don't like this movie, but she should have been dark. She should have been Dark Fate Sarah Connor in this film, and I hate that fucking movie. But she should have been traumatized. She should have cut her hair short. She should have been looking for Myers. If Myers is still at large, she would not go to baking fucking pies and hanging out with her granddaughter. That would not happen.
Time out. If you tell me that Dark Fate is worse than Genesis, I'm gonna fucking
Dark Fate is fucking worse than Genesis.
No. Bullshit.
Dark Fate is fucking worse than Genesis.
Bullshit.
The CGI is worse. The story is
Bullshit.
worse. The pacing is worse. The soundtrack
Bullshit.
is worse.
Stop
The
fucking lying.
cinematography
I'm
is
getting pissed.
terrible. The color grading is atrocious.
I'm getting pissed
The
off.
color grading.
The color
Genesis was at least fun. Genesis was at least fun.
The color grading.
Dark Fate was the biggest cinematic turd I've seen
Grading.
probably since Battlefield Earth. That's how big of a turd it was.
Battlefield Earth.
And again,
Grading.
in Dark Fate, John Connor gets killed at the beginning. Spoiler alert. That's the biggest fucking fuck up in Terminator history. That's worse than anything Genesis could have done. At least Genesis spun him into a villain. You're just gonna kill him off, and Skynet still happens.
You know what?
Like,
Next
give me a
time
break.
Sydney says, Christian, what do you want to watch tonight? I really want to revisit The Hobbit, or I want to revisit Lord of the Rings. Sydney, I am not watching The Dark Tower. The color grading is bullshit.
Look at it. The color grading is important. You know why? Because Genesis sort of looks like a silvery Terminator movie. Dark Fate looks like a brown piece of shit because it's literally just sepia tone. It is a sepia tone Terminator film.
We're gonna get in trouble. It's my
Here's the
fault.
thing.
I shouldn't have stopped you. I
Here's the
shouldn't
thing.
have stopped you.
It doesn't make sense that H2O Laurie Strode. What is this now? That was what 2008, 98. That was 25 plus years ago. Whatever it is, she still makes more sense from a character arc that with the events of the first film and the second film having happened than Laurie Strode does in any of this new fucking trilogy. I didn't like 2018. I still don't. I fucking hate Ends. Kills was a fucking masterpiece. How are you gonna give me Ends after Kills? You're making a trilogy, dude. I get everybody saying, "Oh, it's different. I love it." You just don't like it because it's not the same. You're right, because I was promised a fucking movie we didn't get.
You know that it was like, even watching the Halloween Kills, you know that it was gonna start. Ends was supposed to start. That was the original plan. It was supposed to be on the same night.
And that would have been awesome. And here's the thing: this might be blasphemous, but I think the Lord of the Rings trilogy is probably one of the greatest cinematic trilogies of all time. I think you two probably agree. But I would say the opposite about The Hobbit. I like the Hobbit trilogy. I like it. But Ends is sort of like the Desolation of Smaug to that trilogy, because that fucking sequel came out of nowhere. It made no narrative sense. It didn't need to be there. It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
I mean, Brandon, I think you would watch Resurrection over Halloween Ends. You want to sit on that? We'll circle back.
No, I want to sit here in silence for a minute and answer the question immediately.
Okay, good.
Yes, I would rather watch Resurrection than Halloween Ends, because Resurrection is at least a fun movie. Ends is just depressing.
So, Brandon, do me a favor. You have to keep the germ of the idea of the trilogy in mind. Tell me if this is what you would have done. The first movie should have essentially been something akin to Halloween Ends, except let's say Corey does have his situation in the beginning. Michael escapes from prison in the same breath, and Laurie is the character she is in Halloween Ends in 2018's version, except the story is you remorph the story, right? Like, it could have been done, and honestly, it makes 1,000%. It makes it 1,000% better if you have Laurie's character be her way and Ends in the 2018, and you can have Corey in the first movie. He can get his ass killed in the first movie, throw his ass in the chomper at the end of the movie, but Michael could essentially be breaking out of prison in the midst of Corey Cunningham's bullshit. Corey uses Michael to, do his thing, blah, blah, blah. Corey gets killed. Michael escapes at the end of 18. Then Laurie straps up the house and kills, and something like that. What would you do? Because I feel like there's a way to structure this almost nearly opposite than what they did.
I like what you're doing. What I would have done in 2018 to really push it over the edge, I would have had it be about Karen and Allison, not reveal the Strode last name or whatever you want. Like, don't reveal anything about the Laurie Strode or whatever she's missing, whatever. I would have Laurie show up in the third act of Halloween 2018 out of nowhere. The fucking audience cheers. She's back in business. She's the pie making Laurie Strode. She had no idea Michael Myers was on the loose, and have it proceed from there. That's what I would have done. I think adding Laurie back into the mix immediately caused a huge problem because they didn't want to commit to her and Michael actually having some kind of deep embedded, important feud with one another. They really pushed the idea that Michael didn't care. So that's why I think it's so cringeworthy in Kills when the cop is like, "No, Laurie, it's not about you. It never has been." Because the audience wants it to be personal between those two. And they went out of their way to make, oh, they're not brother and sister. It's not personal. It's like the films at war with, don't know if I'm making sense here, but like the films at war with each other, I feel like those films are narratively. Like they want it to be one thing, but they want it to be something else.
Michael goes from human to superhuman to basically like Freddy Krueger in the third movie, where like he only gets power when he starts killing again. Every Michael in all three movies is a totally different mythology, damn near. Like it's they're all so different, all three.
And I've heard that when they did Halloween 2018, like they wanted to do more, but the studio didn't know yet. They wanted to see how this one did. So they shot an ending with Michael Myers like going over, like walking over to where Laurie's shop places were, or where she was shooting the mannequins, and he sat there and bled out and died. But then they reshot the ending we saw now, because they're like, okay, this is probably going to be a big hit, so we can't have him die. So I think in the beginning they didn't know about the three. Then right after that, they're like, okay, we know all three now.
So listen to this. He says, I respect that the three films have their own identity. Well, you know something, Saturn Video.
You're wrong.
It's I don't, you know what, Brandon? I don't find myself. I haven't really. I rewatched them last year to do re-reviews, but other than that, I haven't had, especially this year, I haven't had a desire to watch them again. If anything, dude, the older I get, the more I just want to watch Curse of Michael Myers and Halloween 2 and Halloween 4. Like the older I get, the more I just want to go watch the old ones.
I think no matter what happens, I'm always going to be a 1 through 6 guy. Obviously, 3 included or not included, it really depends on, because it's not really involved in the story of 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, right? But 1 through 6 is always going to be the ultimate timeline for me, because not only it's the old school timeline, it's before H2O, it's before the timeline got skewed and weird, but it also has Donald Pleasance. And like without that anchor, it's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It's not the same. 1 through 6, you're never going to top it. You're just not. And 2018 Kills and Ends, as much as I like and love Kills, I think it's in my top 5 Halloween films. It does not feel like a Halloween film in the old school way. I think Michael is as scary as he is in Kills as he is in part 6, but that's pretty much it. You're never going to get better than 1 through 6 to me.
And we're going to get there. The way he kills those firefighters was not in character for him, and the low pressure firehouse scene always bugs me. That hose would have knocked him back to Halloween 5.
Which is why he's not human in this trilogy. David Gordon Green is full of shit. We made him human. No, you didn't. What are you talking about?
See, I felt like they gave us that scene because everybody wanted that scene in Halloween 4 when he goes to the police department and kills everybody, but they don't show it. So I feel like they're okay. We'll give you this in this one. I really like that scene in Halloween Kills.
Let me ask y'all this. So I think David Gordon Green is a good director. I've seen a lot of his movies without even realizing it before, because nobody gives a rat's ass who directs comedies. Nobody even asks about that. Do you think that this Green Gordon trilogy, the Gordon Green and the McBride duo, they really got caught with their pants down in a sense, and the Halloween films were kind of a fluke because they clearly made money, and that's awesome, that's good, but when they tried to go do The Exorcist, they really showed And I blame more so McBride rather than the director, David, because I still think David did a good job as a director. But do you feel like they finally got caught with their pants down after this whole fiasco? Like the Halloween films were kind of a fluke in terms of making money, because now they go to attack The Exorcist. And I mean, goddamn, I'm sure William Peter Blatty, when he saw The Believer, if he did, he probably was rolling in his grave so much he looked like a rotisserie chicken. Just watching that movie, because I had a buddy that said something that's so true. He says, the only way we're ever going to get a good Exorcist movie again is if Peter Blatty comes out of his goddamn grave and directs another one or writes another one. But do you think that's true? Do you kind of feel like they finally got caught with their fucking pants down when they go to do another franchise and they realize, oh shit, we may be out of our depth here? And I more so put the blame on the writer, that jackass.
I honestly didn't know that Danny McBride was part of the Exorcist team.
He wrote it, right?
I don't know. I never saw it.
You never saw Exorcist Believer?
Mm-mm.
Neither did you?
No,
God,
fuck no.
I watched it in the theater and I watched it one time. I never bought it. I watched it on Peacock. It's stupid. Like, I really hate it now. I liked it initially, but the more I watch it, think about it, I get more and more angry, because all they did was bring back the mama from Exorcist to get her eyes poked out by a bird in the eyes, and then she's blind. All right, so Brandon, you're gonna give, obviously we can't compare Halloween Ends to anything. Halloween Ends or nothing, you choose.
Nothing.
Sits in darkness.
Cody, you're like me. You can watch out of the three. If I'm gonna just watch any of them, I might go to Ends, or I think I like Kills the least out of the three now, which I feel like I'm in the minority.
Kills is my favorite out of the three.
Fuck yeah.
But don't you think it's a little silly?
No,
like,
absolutely
hold
not.
on. All right, we have a serious problem here.
Big John, Little John is
no. Listen, hold
They
on.
should have.
Hold on. Listen. You mean to tell me you don't find the movie like a really bad, fun slasher film? Like, you look at it like it's a good movie. You don't look at it as ridiculous, because listen to me. Brandon likes movies like Slaughterhouse.
Love it.
And
Love it.
that the tone of Halloween Kills is schizophrenic. You don't know whether they're trying to be serious or funny or what. You've got Big John, Little John's clearly the best part of the movie. I agree with you.
Dude, him dancing lives rent free in my head. Like,
dude,
that whole scene was like,
listen to me.
Look,
we have wars going on in the world. People are dying left and right all over the place. Stores are getting robbed. Schools are getting shot. And all people do is get on their phones and bitch about the Cinnabons at Taco Bell. But you want me to believe that this rinky-dink podunk town in Illinois gives a flying fuck about a murder that happened 40 years ago?
It shook up the town.
You want me to believe that?
It shook up the town.
Brandon, but meet me halfway here.
No.
You son of a bitch.
I think Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills is a good, bad movie. It's a slasher film.
I think it's a good slasher movie. I don't think it's a good
slasher
film.
I think Kills is a very serious movie, way more serious than Ends is in certain ways. I think there's some comedic elements in it. I think there's some goofy characters, but I think it takes itself pretty seriously. Like, it's not a joke.
I think it takes itself pretty serious.
I do.
And like, so the whole scene about them like chasing after that other guy who escaped, I know everybody hates that, but I honestly, when I watched that in theaters, I felt like really sad for the guy. I know I'm the only one, but I was like, I could really see like this is something that could really happen. But people are like, oh, that's the dumbest part of the movie.
I like that scene because it's so bizarre. My only thing is they should know what Michael Myers looks like because he was on the TV in the bar.
No, the last time they saw him was when he was. Well, no, they didn't show which one was which though. Remember? Because they haven't seen him since he was 6. Who knows what he looks like now?
Look, I just listen. This is a good, bad slasher film. If Brandon would say, Christian, Halloween Kills is an accidental masterpiece. It's literally one of the best 80s slasher films I've ever seen in my life.
Halloween Kills is top 5 Halloween of all time. Top 5.
I think you're full of bull, quite frankly.
Okay, let's ask you this, because I think me and Cody are on the same boat here. Christian, what do you not like about Halloween Kills? Well, actually, no. What do you think is goofy about it? And an accidental, like what makes it an accidental, goofy masterpiece?
Pretty much the entire movie. I find Jamie Lee Curtis to be so over the top. Like she's like acting so dramatic. It's ridiculous. Then, no offense, but Rusty Griswold is just completely out of his element. I see how Cody's already laughing. I laugh my ass off. Listen. They're having some weird ass talent show at a raggedy ass podunk bar. And for his talent, he gets up and tells a campfire story. And everybody's like, ooh, like, what are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? Then, like, the stuff that is clearly meant to be funny, like the Big John, Little John, that works for me. I like that. But then whenever you get to the hospital, like I said, you want me to believe that all these people are going to chant evil dies tonight. Dude, my wife doesn't even look on the side of the road when there's a fucking 10-car pileup on the interstate. And you think people give a flying rat's ass about a murder from 40 years ago? You got to be out of your goddamn mind. It's ludicrous.
A small town.
It's ludicrous. And then God rest his soul, they got Charles Cypher's ass in here with his Woody from Toy Story badge saying evil dies. What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's an accident. If you said it's an accidental, the movie's schizophrenic. It's schizophrenic. You don't know whether it's supposed to be this hard-hitting, serious movie or this outlandish movie. Then in the beginning, this is what kills me. Now, I would have done the same, but I would not act like I was a good person. They go to get the bastard in the Myers house, right? Myers kills the partner. No, Myers gets the partner. Homeboy shoots his partner. And then, like, he had some moral high ground where he didn't want to shoot Michael at first. So then he didn't want to shoot Michael in the building when he had his buddy tied up. So Michael kills the buddy. And then something happened. I forgot what. You know what? I'm losing myself. It's the
rookie
movie.
Cops making rookie mistakes.
Exactly. Here's what's funny.
No, exactly. So you just answered your question.
But listen, here's the thing that kills me. Everybody was losing their mind saying it was CGI. I kept my mouth shut because I'm always wrong about this shit. I am the first guy to say this movie probably wasn't shot on film because it was made in 2007. Come to find out it's shot in. So I stopped saying I don't think it was shot in film. Everybody was like, "Oh, I hate the CGI Loomis." It wasn't even CGI. They just found some. They grabbed the guy that was driving the limo in the movie or something. They said, "Hey, put a ball cap on. You kind of look like him."
It did look like him, yeah.
Real quick, Ethan Ethan Side Likey. The hell is that? Anyway, thank you so much. He is right. Kills is a masterpiece, and if it was made in the 80s, people would love it. It's my top 5. See, Brandon, that's my point. I think a lot of people, including myself, we sensationalize 80s slasher films. They're ridiculous. Some of them are so over the top, and the dialogue and stuff is silly. That's how I look at Kills. If you said, dude, it's one of the best 80s slasher films ever, I totally get that. But I can't take it seriously. That I can't do.
I do have a quick question.
Wheels are turning.
I think, Brandon, I don't think you totally disagree with me.
No, I'm trying. It's baffling to me how people can like 2018 and ends over Kills. I'm trying to figure it out. Kills is such a fun movie.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. First of all, the music in Kills, the music was not used in Kills very well. 2018, the score was used to absolute perfection. That I will say. The score was used to perfection in 2018. And to me, if you're going to say what's
about the score in 2018, actually, I'll save it 2018. I'll save it for the 2018.
Right, save it. So since we're kind of talking about Kills, Brandon, you've pretty much shared your thought. We have a lot of movies to go through tonight. Cody, you've shared your thoughts on Kills. Kills was the 12th Kills was the 12th Halloween movie, and then the 12th Friday the 13th movie was the remake, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming both of you punk asses are going to say, oh, well, Halloween Kills is definitely better than Friday the 13th 09.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I do like Halloween. I mean, I do like the remake to
I'm fucking pissed.
Friday, but Kills, I love Kills.
Oh, Brandon, will you admit to me, though, that Derek Mears would destroy that Michael Myers?
Halloween Kills Michael Myers?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I think he's the best Myers.
No. First of all, anybody that doesn't say George P. Wilbur is just full of bull. And that's a
George P. Wilbur is well, actually, no. Dick Warlock's my favorite Myers, but
it's
George P. Wilbur, Jizz P. Wilbur. What did I say?
Jizz P. Wilbur. Jizz P. Wilbur.
Wilbur's the scariest, though.
Which one did Wilbur play?
Does anybody in the chat agree? Okay, Kevin Bertrani says 09 Overkills. Okay, we got some casual villain Y, however you say it. Just people.
That's my.
Maybe I just heard that. I don't know.
That's gonna be my pumpkin's name next year. Jizz P. Wilbur.
All right, Brandon. So let's just get into it. Halloween 20. Brandon, is that fingernail polish on your finger?
It is.
Where's the rest of them? You only just did the. That just
one.
looks so bizarre.
Yeah, his wife did. His wife did his and his daughter's.
That's right.
So Brandon,
if you watch his channel, it explains.
So let's just get into it. Cody, what's the problem with Halloween 2018?
I have no problem with it. I like it a lot.
That ain't what you told me early in DMs.
Okay. See, so I really like 18 a lot. And when it came out, it was great, and everybody else loved it. Then all of a sudden, everybody had problems with it, and I don't understand why all of a sudden people have all these problems with 2018.
I'll tell you why people have problems with it later on. I'm not gonna be rude. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's something I think I have to rewatch because like I've seen it. I saw it twice in theaters, and I saw it like once or whatnot when I got home. And I was like, I really like this movie. I thought it was a good follow-up. I know there are some things that I didn't like about it, but I can't remember what it was.
I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. And here's the thing. Brandon's going to full-fledged agree with me on this. Everybody in the chat is going to agree with me on this. If not, you are lying to yourself when you lay your head on that pillow at night. When she gets drunk, when she goes to the jail and she watches him pull out, she screams like a fucking banshee. Remember Creep Show, Brandon? No, Creep Show, Night of the Creeps, Brandon? Screaming like banshees. Remember, she screams like a banshee in her Jeep Grand Cherokee. Then she pulls off. She goes to the restaurant where they're sitting down eating dinner. She goes over there, Brandon. Remember when she says she's freaking out? She's like, I saw it. And then she actually verbalizes, I saw it. I saw the shape. Brandon actually broke a quad out of cringe pain when she said that at the restaurant. Brandon, tell me, Dr. Loomis can get away with those speeches, right? He could do it. Donald Pleasant's good. When she did it, tell me you didn't just want to vomit in a bag when she said that.
By that point in the film, I had already vomited into a bag about 7 times.
7 times.
Another.
See, like the only problem I really had was the Loomis character in this one. I didn't like. He's like putting on the mask. I did not like that.
Why not let him kill Myers and then him put the mask on, Brandon, and let him kill people as the Sartain Myers? What the hell his name would have been? Super Mario Myers. Real quick, Mountain Veteran, $8. Christian has no problem with Jean-Claude Van Damme speaking, but has a problem with Evil Dies Tonight. Cocaine Bear backing up. Why is everybody? I thought people were gonna be on my side tonight, but apparently not. Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran. I appreciate that, man. So Cody's going to give Halloween 2018 4 3/4 stars. Apparently,
I'm giving it 3 stars.
3 stars. Shit, Brandon, I think you actually have a soft spot for Halloween 2018.
It sounds like he does not like it at all. If you,
I think
I
he
don't
does.
like it. No, I don't hate it as much as I used to. I've warmed to it a little bit, but I don't fucking like that movie. I like it better than Ends, but my problem with 2018 is that H2O already did it better 20 years before that. I think
bathroom
Lori is a
scene?
more believable character in H2O. I think Michael, obviously Michael's not as scary in H2O as he is in 2018, but I don't know. I just think Lori's whole character arc explored in H2O makes more sense to me than it does in 2018. And you got to remember that in H2O, she has the events of Halloween 2 under her belt as well. It's not just the first movie. So for
Which
her to
makes
be this,
that film so much better.
yeah. So for her to be this fucked up in 2018, and again, everybody's affected by trauma differently, but only the 78 films events happened by the time we catch up to her in 2018. Halloween 2 doesn't exist. So why is she more screwed up in 2018's timeline than she is in H2O when Halloween 2 also happened and like 35 more people got killed? I just don't understand the logic there with the character. Again, trauma affects people differently. They could write her however they want to. I just don't like that aspect. I think it was too easy for Myers to be transferred again on Halloween night or on Halloween Eve, Devil's Night, and escape. I think Sartain was a big mess.
He's a jackass.
I thought there was literally, it's Halloween 2018 probably has the worst, matter of fact, a complete absence of Halloween ambiance to me. It does not feel like fall at all. If anything, it feels like the onset of winter. I think the whole town, and this is a problem with all 3 films, even Kills, as much as I love Kills, Halloween 2018 Kills and Ends look like North Carolina. They don't look like Illinois. They don't look like even California. They don't look like Salt Lake City. They look like North Carolina, which is where the movies are filmed. It does not feel correct to me. Nothing about it feels right. I thought the characters were stupid. I thought the dialogue was bad. I fucking hate Allison, Karen, her husband,
their conversation,
their friends, everything about this movie.
Brandon, let's just say it.
I'm going to say this. It
beta mail.
Well, that too, but 2018 reeks of 2018 in the worst way. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, no, and you make a very valid argument about how she is like. She should have been more messed up. I really think they messed up by taking out Halloween 2. But I know they only did that because they didn't want them related because the last 40 years people have been complaining about how they were related, or at least John Carpenter was. That they should have never made them related and this and that. So they finally got rid of that. And you could tell it when they took that out, they all patted themselves on the back. Like,
yeah.
All right,
that
finally
line,
we did that.
And then related? No, this is something people say to make themselves feel better. What the fuck kind of line is that? That's the dumbest line in the fucking franchise. Also, John Carpenter, I love the guy. He's made a lot of great films, but he's fucking wrong about Halloween and Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Like the brother-sister storyline is pretty much what saved Michael Myers from being a boring fucking 2-dimensional character. He's not scarier by not being related. He's not going to kill less people because he's not related to them, in my humble opinion. But like the fan base fucking loves Halloween 2. And for him to still be shitting on that movie today and saying that Rosenthal did a journeyman's job, but he didn't save the like, give me a break, dude.
Rosenthal's a jackass.
Fucking John Carpenter's bitter about the wrong shit. He is. Like, he needs to worry about what the fuck happened to Escape from LA instead of worrying about Halloween 2. Like, I like Escape from LA too, but like,
I love
the serpent scene looks like an Atari 2600.
Like, that's the one film that brings that down. And Halloween 2, I would say, is eons better. Like, I just don't know what the fuck his problem is. I think he's wrong, and the fan base is wrong for, yeah.
I'm digging this energy tonight. Let's get these super chats going. JG Michael, the $2 super chat. DDG's Halloween trilogy is shitty fan fiction. There you have it. Thank you so much. I'll give you this.
Agreed. I feel like people sleep.
And then we got Ann Lives. What's up, buddy? Hey, guys. I know the stream is about Halloween, but I wanted to recommend the new Shudder original Mad S. It's a French zombie film shot entirely in one take. It was awesome. Have a good night, guys. You got to be kidding me.
Hey, real quick. Also, are you done with that super chat or no?
Real quick. Thank you very much. And that's a good kid, y'all. Go check that kid out. He's working hard over there on his channel. Thank you so much, Ann. Go ahead, Brennan.
Okay, so 2018, when those first teaser trailers came out, I was fucking hyped.
We all were.
Because by that point, I knew that they were going to excise the brother-sister storyline and make it a sequel to the first film. I had a big problem with it, but the trailers were promising. Then they released, I don't remember if it was part of the first trailer or if it was a separate scene. They released the first part of that scene where he's doing the one take. He's walking down the driveway. He goes to kill the lady with a hammer. I think it's in the trailer itself. Mm-hmm. But they show that, and it's silent. You just hear the sound effects, and you hear some overdubs. You hear some narration about 40 years ago. In the film, as soon as we pan up or tilt up as the kids run into him trick-or-treating, and you see him in the neighborhood fully masked up, and he's walking, the one shot's happening, they play the Myers theme song, the Halloween theme song. I get it from a legacy standpoint, but to me, that fucking ruined the one take. Really? That should have been totally silent besides sound effects. That would have built up so much tension. Matter of fact, you want to build tension for Halloween 2018, start the fucking movie with trick-or-treating in the neighborhood and have the kids run into Myers. Have it start with that opening scene and then flash back. But again, that opening scene, man, would have been so much stronger without any music at all. I remember the theaters being so disappointed when they fucking played that theme song. I was like, dude, you ruined it.
The theater, everyone in the theater was disappointed.
No, I was disappointed.
I was like, what the hell?
Brandon, explain. Yes, I want to make sure.
Everybody in the theater was disappointed.
I want to make sure. Hey, Brandon, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Where are you saying that they played the theme song and you wanted them to not do that?
The one take where he arrives in the neighborhood fully masked up for the first time at night.
Oh, you're talking about when he goes down the driveway.
Yes.
Into the, oh, I full-fledged agree with that.
Mm.
I full-fledged agree with that.
I would have to hear it both ways because I didn't mind. I was like a kid listening to that theme song, and I'm like, yeah.
But everybody after the stream, go watch that. I think it's in the trailer.
What's up, Hakeem?
Watch that trailer, and it shows him.
It shows it without the sound.
Without the music, you just hear the narration, and the narration's fucking stupid, but you hear the sound effects, it's so much stronger. Like, you don't need music in every fucking scene, and I feel like 2018 is just too fucking loud in that way. So.
Nah, the scene with the music is epic. Dude's tripping. Listen, Cosmic Urgency. Let me tell you about having urgency in the cosmics. Nobody knows about that more than me. And let me tell you something about epic music. I respect your opinion. Thank you so much. Mountain Veteran with a $20 super chat. Brandon, well said. The cocaine bear lives. Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran. God bless you, brother. So Brandon, the chat has spoken. I think a lot of people like Halloween 2018. I think a lot of people disagree with what we're saying here. And you know what? Yeah. You know what? I don't really give a rat's ass what these people say. No, for real. Thank you guys. Let's keep the train rolling. So Brandon, we're gonna have Halloween 2018 go up against Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, we're gonna say which one's better.
Yeah, I tell you, just to be a motherfucker.
Freddy versus Jason is way fucking better. Are you kidding me?
Freddy
versus Jason's a fucking masterpiece, dude.
Yeah, Freddy versus Jason, I have great memories seeing that.
Yes.
It was an event. Like, people were excited.
Let's see what people are saying. Freddy versus Freddy versus Jason is sweeping.
Freddy versus Jason was a fucking fun movie. 2018 was a bore fest, bro.
You know what though? I don't care what anybody says. My experience of seeing 2018 in the theater was pretty epic. I was like I really enjoyed the theater experience of that. I think the score for 18 is clearly the best in the movie and just listening to the soundtrack. I think kills and ends are lackluster compared. The musical cues in 18 were sensational. I can't even recall the only thing from ends that I really remember that stands out at all is Don't Fear the Reaper at the end of the movie.
Dude, the Laurie's theme ends in Halloween Ends is such a good fucking track. Are you kidding me?
Let me tell you something about soundtracks. You know, first and foremost, you know, as an auteur of soundtracks, I would put Spookies above Halloween Kills.
God damn it.
I love the spooky soundtrack.
Listen here.
Dude, we got a lot of Freddy versus Jason's love. Freddy versus Jason won.
Of course.
All right. So we got one for Freddy. Everybody, here's my LJN Freddy from 1989. Check him out. You know what's funny about this thing, Brandon? It's like built out of cement. This thing is hard as an effing rock.
What is it? Like, it's not a piggy bank or anything?
No, it's just a toy. It's hard as a rock. Somebody sent me this. I have one in the box, but I didn't want to open it up. So somebody was like, "Hey, dude, I got one just sitting in a closet."
Is it plaster or Paris?
I think it's plaster. I think it's because you can, if you press really, really hard at it, you could put the slightest indent in it.
Yeah, it's probably plaster.
Yeah, but it's nice. Anyway, we're moving on to, you see how, I like how I go backwards because everybody, it's like talking about the old ones is less controversial. Talking about the newer ones is way more controversial. So, all right, Brandon, next up is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with Cody on this.
Okay. So Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 2 is my least favorite Halloween movie out there.
You really pushing your luck here.
So the more I watch, when I saw it in theaters, I absolutely hated it.
Stop.
So far, we're on the same boat, Cody.
What the fuck is wrong with people that they say, "Oh, I was the worst"? Like, no offense, when I hear, and I love Piz, when I hear Piz say it's the worst movie-going experience of my life, when somebody says something like that, I'm like, "Oh my God, did somebody get shot in the theater? What happened? Did you piss your pants in the theater? You didn't like it? What the fuck are you talking about? What the hell is so wrong about this goddamn movie? I'm begging you, please." So I'm going to shut up. Go.
Okay, so I didn't say it was the worst experience. I said it was the worst my least favorite movie.
Nuke him, Cody. Nuke him.
So when I saw this movie, I was like, so it starts off great. It's a banger. Like the first scene when inside the hospital. Then all of a sudden it goes to this whole, I didn't like the thing that I really hate is he had to bring back his wife and she had to have this horse with her. I hated all that. I didn't like any of that when I saw it. Nope, you're gonna let me finish. So I didn't.
Let me just really quick the super chat. Thank you. Sako says mad props for not playing ads during live streams. You know what? Thank you for fucking noticing that because all these motherfuckers that turn the ads on, the second an ad plays, I'm out. Fuck you. I'm not coming back. I put the ads on when the show is done. So the super chats mean a lot to me during these live shows because I'm not getting ad revenue. So thank you so much. Continue, Cody.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna interrupt you.
So when I saw it in theaters, I was like me, I like a lot of things, and it takes a lot for me to hate something. So when I saw this, there are two movies that I hate, and this was one of them. But I went I think it was 2 years ago. I rewatched the movie, and I actually had more respect for it, and I liked what Rob Zombie did with the the aftermath of them. The effect that it had on them, like the survivors, the PTSD, and I really do like Brad Dourif's performance in that is
best performance in the franchise.
Yes, I loved it, but it's not my favorite. So it's like the more I watch the second one, the more I like it. But I've only seen it twice, and I don't know how many more times I have it in me to watch it again. And the first Halloween with Rob Zombie, I like least every time I watch it. So overall, I don't like Halloween. And I can't remember which version of it has him talking.
That's the unrated director's cut of part 2.
Okay, and I don't like him talking. So,
well, I've got a lot of rebuttals to that. You're gonna get it, but let me get to this. Mountain Veteran with a $75. Good Lord, thank you so much. Of course, hair gel brings up Freddy on Halloween. Long live the cocaine bear. What's wrong? It's not the Michael we know and love. Well, Mountain Veteran, I have to sneak in a little bit of Freddy and Jason here and there because any sane person would agree, Brandon, that Friday the 13th is better than Halloween. We can meet there, correct, Brandon?
The franchise or the first movie?
The franchise.
Yes, agree.
Okay, thank you. Cocaine Bear, what do you say to that? Do you agree that Friday the 13th is a better franchise than Halloween?
Halloween is my third favorite franchise.
Number 2 is the Ernest franchise, and number 1 is the Gremlins franchise.
Yeah.
Number 1's Chucky, right?
Yeah, number 1's Chucky, 2 is Scream, and then 3 is Halloween, so that I like Halloween more.
And first,
By the slightest.
and my look, guys. Obviously, I've had a lot of sugar today, but you guys, please know listen.
It's that big. It's that big
guys,
red.
Guys, I swear I'm fucking with y'all. I'm not despair. Listen. I love how people still wonder if I'm joking. I have it tattooed. I have it tattooed all on me. Okay, I'm fucking around, but I do love Friday the 13th. It's my shtick. So thank you so much for that, Mountain Veteran. God bless you. I appreciate that, man. Brandon, I have a lot of problems with what Cody said. I'm gonna tell you the first problem I have with it, Brandon, and I think you're gonna back me up full-fledged on this. I think you're gonna sacrifice your channel for this statement. When people say they don't understand the white horse,
I fucking hate it.
Brandon, listen to me, Cody, because you're about to learn. Grab your paper and pen. When people say they don't understand it, Brandon, he defines it at the beginning of the movie. Guess what? Who knows what the word phantasm meant, Brandon? Who knew what that meant? Not a goddamn person. So what does Don Coscaratone do? He defines phantasm in the beginning of the movie.
That was my suggestion.
They only put that in the movie so they can have his wife in it.
But
that's the only reason why she's there.
Guess what, Cody? If I ever become a big filmmaker, my wife's going to be in I'll put my wife's ass on camera. My wife has a great ass. Everybody will see my wife's ass in my movies. And number two, at least she did something cool in this one. She had something different she was doing. I mean, for God's sakes, you're going to tell me that she's worse, or you can say this is the worst thing she's done? At least she was gorgeous. She had her outfits on. She had her ghost thing. At least she wasn't annoying in this one. Like if people say I'd take her in Halloween 2 over House with 1,000 Corpses because of that goddamn laugh, I'd be like, I can understand that. Meet me halfway, Cody. That's all I'm saying, Cody. Meet me halfway. And I like the kid that plays Little Michael in this movie.
Don't meet him
halfway. The guy who played Michael in 07 looked like a weirdo.
Don't meet him halfway. Listen, the problem isn't because people being confused by what the white horse means. The problem is it's fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, I know what the white horse fucking syndrome is and all that crap. I just think it's dumb to have it in the movie.
My uncle taught me this,
dude.
Okay.
So
I'm in the same boat as Cody.
I'm sorry, real quick. They tried putting the white horse thing in 8 Mile, and they even filmed one scene with it, and Eminem's like, we're fucking done with this. This is stupid. So even Eminem doesn't want some white horse bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
So
go ahead. I'm sorry, Brandon.
I agree with Cody 100%. Dude, I fucking hated Halloween 2 for years. Okay. That was only the last 2 or 3 years that I started to warm up to it, barely. Mm-hmm. But I don't like a lot of the stuff in that movie. The hospital scene kicks fucking ass. The way that mask looks in the hospital scene kicks fucking ass.
Right?
Dude, it's
fantastic.
Scary.
That
it's
whole
the best scene in the movie.
Part 2 should have been that whole fucking sequence, right? It was like a perfect homage and remake of Halloween 2.
And brutal.
81. My biggest problem with Halloween 2, and again, I've warmed up to the film. I like it a lot. It's very stylistic. It's weird. It's artsy. It's avant-garde. All that shit. The dream sequences are awesome. Laurie Strode is such an insufferable asshole in this movie. I cannot stand her. She's annoying. She's selfish. I get that she's self-destructing and she's having traumatic issues. She is an insufferable asshole the whole fucking movie. Selfish, annoying. She screams way too fucking much. She's obnoxious. Her friends at the fucking record store are fucking obnoxious. I could not wait for them to get killed on screen. All the characters are.
But wait a minute.
Every character in this movie is a greasy douchebag who deserved to bite it, besides Brackett and Annie. I thought the Annie death sequence was very, obviously it was traumatic. I thought it was a little bit too, what's the word, the phrase I'm looking for here? I think it was too mean-spirited, considering the Annie character we saw in the 2007 film. I get the point he was trying to make because Michael Myers is coming after everybody and anybody could die and it's horrible and it's supposed to be more realistic than the other movies, but there was something really mean-spirited about that death. And I have a feeling it played more into the
because they were
Jamie Lloyd aspect that she played in the original movies than it did in actually him trying to just kill off this character. That's what it felt like, more of a fuck you to the fans than
well that, and it's because they weren't on talking terms, right, in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Their relationship was very pressed at that point.
Yeah, so I think it was one of those things where it's like, hey, don't, settle stuff before it's too late, kind of thing. That's how I took it. But they were never able to really settle their issues because she died. But again, like Brad Dourif, his delivery of like that whole scene just adds so much more to it. So I think everything all together, maybe if it wasn't for Brad Dourif having that scene, maybe it wouldn't have been as mean-spirited. Do you think?
Let me tell you what I think about this.
Or come off as mean-spirited.
Right. Really quick. Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran. Brandon, don't let Jean-Claude Van Damme get in your mind. Halloween is the shit. Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran. And JG Michael said, at least Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 took risks. Plays like a slasher, meets David Lynch Fever Dream. Better than DGG's Trilogy and more interesting than Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. Thank you so much, but I'm going to defend Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 tonight because I am sick and tired of these motherfuckers.
All the Halloween movies took risks. I'm just going to throw that out there. Go ahead.
This is why I think Rob's movies, this is one of the more distinct things about Rob's movies, including Halloween 1, that I like above a lot of these slasher films. There was this thing in slasher films a lot of times where the kills were like oohs and ahs, and it was kind of like a whoa, that's fun, especially in like the over-the-top stuff. But what I love that Rob did in his movies, his Halloween movies, especially two, like with Annie's death as being the biggest thing, he makes you experience the harsh reality of the emotional stakes of what somebody's going to go through when they see their loved one die. It's not fun. It's not pleasant. And there's a moment in this film, Cody, that I swear to God, I get goosebumps when I watch it. I swear, I'm not even kidding. I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be dead serious for a second. When the cop, one of the deputies, goes up to Brad Dourif and he's trying to pick him up and he's looking at him to say, hey, this is where we think he's at. Brad Dourif's eyes, the look in his eyes is fucking disturbing. He is one of the best horror movie actors. I mean, Brad Dourif's a legend. He's been in everything, right? But that kind of acting in that part of that movie gives me goosebumps. I don't think any performance in the entire franchise, including Jamie Lee Curtis, ever came close. And I mean even came close to how talented and how good Brad Dourif is in that movie. I don't really give a rat's ass if people think I'm exaggerating or being silly. I stand on that. He is so good, and he makes me so uncomfortable watching him deal with his kid's death in that movie. It's unbelievable. That's one of the biggest things about Rob's films that I love. He goes, hey, we're going to actually make this feel horribly impactful. We're not going to make this funny. We're not going to make this horror movie fun. No, we're going to make people feel like shit. That is incredible to me. And that scene of him, whether it's either cut, doesn't matter. It kills me. It's so uncomfortable to watch. That's what I love about Brad Dourif in that movie. So that's one of my favorite things about Halloween 2. That's what I will say. The White Horse stuff, I'll meet you halfway. I like it because it's different enough, and I like Sherry in it. I don't really give a fuck. It's like she's not being annoying. She's doing this. It's like it's a symbolism of Michael's whatever his. I get it. I don't know if I was go as far as to say David Lynch kind of esque, but I can see where JG's coming from. But I don't know, dude. I just like that movie a lot. Whether you look at it as that's the movie that's the real Rob Zombie's Halloween movie or not. I like his Halloween 2007 movie. I feel like that one it's funny. I feel that Halloween 2 was one people would shit on and they would say, well, Halloween 1 was fine, but blah, blah, blah. But now it's turned into, oh, actually Halloween 2. And then they hate Halloween 1, which I call bullshit on that too. But I'm going to shut up. Brandon, give us your thoughts on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I mean, I don't think anybody can argue with Brackett's performance in that film, especially when Andy dies. I get what you're saying, but yeah, I just think a lot of shit in that movie just is contrived and annoying, and I just can't fucking stand Scout Taylor Compton. I think her performance is ass in that movie. I think it's terrible. I think it's over the top. I think everybody else in that movie is over the top and despicable and greasy, and Even Loomis is fucking terrible. He's just a terrible
huge
person.
disagree.
Like, you don't want to
fucking bullshit. He is amazingly entertaining. He has line after line that is so fucking funny.
We're not
I want
talking
my
about
coffee
entertaining.
sizzling
though.
hot.
We're
Yes,
not
we
talking
are.
about-
Yes,
We're
we
not
are.
talking about entertaining, though. We're talking about a horrible person. Like, you want to root for Loomis.
Dude, you're killing me. Why is it? And I'm not going to single you out, but I hear this all the time. Did you like the movie, man? I'll give you an example. There's a movie called The Rental, which I fucking loved it. I would ask people about this movie. Did you like the movie? No, I didn't like any of the characters. Do you have to want to be able to have a coffee with these fucking fake people? These guys, why can't you watch them like they're in an ant farm? Do you have to have a cup of coffee with them? You have to be able to go out and get it. I'm going to fucking go eat dinner with him. What are you talking about?
You got to be able to connect with some people, and Loomis is just a rat bastard.
Exactly.
Dude,
That's him saying, okay, if this was real, because everybody loves the almighty dollar, this dude, of course he's gonna go write a book about this shit. Like, you think he's gonna do? It's not.
Yeah, but
realistic.
writing a book is not what makes him a douchebag. What makes him a douchebag is how he treats people. And you can write a book and cash in on.
He got power and he got attention.
Yeah, but that's not real
to people.
But that's not realistic to everybody. And you didn't have to do that with Lewis. That was like Rob Zombie's choice to just turn him into a scumbag. Where like, you didn't have to do that, Rob.
Especially with like a beloved character like Loomis. Like, people like Donald Pleasance, Loomis would never do that. And I know this is different, but people have that connection to it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I like Halloween 2. I've warmed up to it, but I think it's pretty much ass in a lot of respects at the same time.
I'm getting pissed off. Mountain Veteran with a $13. Thank you so much, Brandon. Why can't you give me a compliment tonight, Mountain Veteran? You're giving Brandon compliments, a Cocaine Bear compliments. Brandon, well said.
He doesn't even know my name.
Brandon, well said. If you're a preacher, I'm your flock. Cocaine Bear, what is he drinking? I guess he's talking about me. What am I drinking? Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran. And then we have Justin David. Thank you so much, Justin David, with $1.99. Justin, I love you, but you're never invited back on the show ever again. I'm kidding. You're invited back anytime. Muzzak says, what's up, guys? Just got back from a triple feature of the Evil Dead pieces and the new 4K of the Beyond. $9. Well said. Brandon, really quick, are you excited for this new? It's like 7 discs. Actually, I think it's 5 discs for the Beyond 4K. I'm super pumped about it.
Who's it coming from?
Grindhouse.
Okay, good. So maybe we'll get all the discs correct the first time around.
Hopefully, and then hopefully there's going to be like a Arrow version of it as well. That'll come out about the same time. Thank you so much, Muzzak. Thank you guys for the super chats. All right. So I need one of you guys to finally start seeing things my way. I'm going to get this. Oh, hold on, Brandon. So now it is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Then we would go to
Jason X.
Stop. Cody, stop. Brandon, just speak for all three of us.
Jason X.
Okay. Cody?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, Jason X for sure.
People are going to hate me, but I got to go. I love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but I could literally watch Jason X every single day, Brandon. I could eat Wheaties with Jason X. I could drink Powerade with Jason X.
Jason X is a great Chicken Wings movie, by the way.
Dude, don't.
It is.
You know what's so funny, Brandon?
It says it on the back of the DVD.
Dude. You know, it's so funny. It's like, I'm sure people are saying, God, we can't, like, this show, all they do is talk about Jason. I hope you guys realize that there is a fucking Friday the 13th in December this year. Yeah. Okay, really quick. What else we got here? Mountain Veteran with a $10 super chat. Rob Zombie putting his wife in his movie. So according to Christian, if Arnold put his love child's son in True Lies, it would be better.
Yes.
Okay, no, that's Brandon saying that. I'm gonna let Brandon answer for me. Thank you so much, Mount Veteran. Okay, so let's get it going. Rob Zombie's Halloween. I'm just gonna start it off like this. You guys can cut me off, interject if you want. I think it's bullshit how all of a sudden everybody wants to hate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and start saying, "Oh, well, people want to start shitting on Rob Zombie's Halloween and saying, "Oh, but Halloween 2 is actually, when I go back and watch it, blah, blah, blah." No. What is so bad about Rob Zombie's Halloween?
It's boring.
It's not boring.
I don't like the beginning. I know that's the cop-out answer, but I don't like. But people I don't like Young Myers. I don't quote it at all.
I never said you, but people do. You know it do. How many times like
Here's the problem. Here's a big problem. I got a whole fucking tirade about 2007. Go ahead.
You love William Forsythe. There's stories about him showing up at conventions drunk off his ass, wearing tennis shorts with his balls hanging out of his pants.
Listen, I love Forsythe. One of the big fucking problems that a lot of people have with 2007, and I stand by this today. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007. I think it's a very flawed movie. I wasn't a fan of it when it first came out, but that not opening scene, but that introductory scene of Michael's family, when Forsythe is using all that language and his mom's using the language, and there's the back and forth about the chicken abortions and Michael's killing the rat in his bedroom, all that shit.
It's too much for me.
It's like, I get, there's a lot of really, really, really broken down families out there that act like that. That movie and that scene felt so fake and forced, with so much forced language. It took me completely out of the scene. Completely out of the scene. It didn't feel authentic. 3 from Hell suffered from similar bad dialogue that tried too hard to be filled with, I don't know, explicit content, that it took me out. This is the same problem in this movie. And that's one of like 100 complaints I have with Halloween 2007.
Okay, really quick. Robert A., I appreciate the $5, but I don't think Brandon's going to agree with what you said. 100% agree with Brandon. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the worst of the franchise. Brandon thinks Halloween Ends is the worst of the franchise. I don't think Brandon's. I appreciate, unless Robert is just saying that's how he feels, but he still agrees with what Brandon said about the movie. Maybe that's what Robert A. was saying. Thank you so much, Robert A.
I'll say that's my opinion, Robert. So,
Cody, I shouldn't have invited you tonight. So let's continue. My thing is this, Cody. Listen, Cody. People talk about they hate the way, and I feel like I'm going to be the Rob Zombie defender tonight. So be it. You know, if anybody ever said anything bad about Alice, so help me God. You know. But here's what I'll say. First of all, how did you guys not give credit to Rob Zombie for having the Alice Cooper poster in the bathroom in Halloween 2? I mean, no love there. I mean, what are we talking about? Anyway, listen, people talk about the dialogue stuff with Rob Zombie, et cetera, et cetera. My thing is this, Brandon, and whether this is a good excuse for Rob or not, I don't know. But Rob talks about all the time. He grew up in the carnival business. That's what his family did. He was around junkies and lowlives his entire childhood. That's the kind of stuff he heard his entire life growing up.
We were all around junkies around our whole life. They do not talk like that.
Dude, speak for yourself. I was an aristocrat.
I was the most cartoony junkie scene I've ever seen in my life. It was
opinion. just like, I'm gonna skull fuck you. It's like, I don't
Brandon,
know.
here's the problem. This is the thing nobody wants to talk about. And I don't give a rat's ass. I'm gonna say it. When this movie came out, Brandon, and these movies were coming out, me and my friends and all of us, we were going and seeing these movies, and we had a fucking ball. We were laughing when we're hearing the skull fuck. We're joking, we're hollering, we're high-fiving each other. When Sherry Moon's shaking her ass at the club, we're all like, yeah. When Michael shows up and he's wrecking shop, we're all like fist bumping each other. We're having a great time. It wasn't until I got older and I got on the internet that I learned that everybody has the most important goddamn opinion in the world, and that everybody wants to just hate on this shit, and they regurgitate, not you, I'm not talking about you, Brandon, but they regurgitate the same fucking shit. It's copy and paste. They say the same fucking thing. And dude, I'm so disillusioned by it. It makes me sick. If you don't like the movie, I'm not talking about you, Brandon, because I'm not talking about what you're saying, because you're very articulate. But my point is, at least say something original when you don't like these movies, because people say the same shit word for fucking word. I've seen it for 10 years now, Brandon. 10 years.
Here's a bigger point to make about 2007. The biggest problem with Halloween 2007 is the third act remake of Halloween 78. If he was going to do this film, it should have all been prequel. It should have ended with him getting the mask out of the floorboards in the film. Now, again, he had problems. That was going to be his thing. He wanted to do two films back to back, and Weinstein kind of fucked that up. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But still, that third act remake of the 78 film really brought down the film. It made it boring. It was not as good as the 78 film. It wasn't different enough either. And the first two acts were far more interesting than that last third act remake. of the 78 film.
I
That's
would
where I
just-
think that movie suffered a lot.
Is the best scene of the movie when Ken Faree goes to beat off in
Yeah.
the bathroom? That's the best scene,
Joe
right?
Grizzly scene is the best scene, and it should have been longer.
I was thinking
And,
about that scene. It's like,
I also think the kid who plays little Michael Myers,
I
let
hate
alone
him.
in both films, but in this movie, I fucking wanted to punch him in the face the whole time. I just don't like the way his face looks. He looks like one of the blowfishes from Super Mario World or something. I don't know.
Do you like Loomis? I'm sorry, Cody. Go ahead. Please jump in. Cody.
I will tell you this: the scene where little Michael hits the sister's boyfriend, Jenny from Forrest Gump, her boyfriend, and that with the baseball bat. Like I think about that constantly. Like it hits him, and then he's just like twitching and stuff.
And
It's
you can hear the juice in his head kind of.
That's crazy. I like
That's one thing. And again, I will defend Rob Zombie to the ends of the earth.
I will not.
You know what I mean? I think 31's fucking fantastic. House of Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, all that shit. But if I can say a pro about Halloween 2007, it made a lot of people. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the fans were very split on this movie when it first came out, and there was a lot of complaints from critics and review houses and all that shit that the violence in this movie was a little bit too real, because that scene like where the boys are getting bludgeoned to death, the baseball scene that Cody's talking about, that shit was really fucking I think it was too gritty for a lot of people's taste at that point in time.
At the time,
like you really felt those hits.
Yes,
they didn't feel fantastical. They felt real and uncomfortable. And I know Rob Zombie likes to do that. He doesn't want stuff to be zany or fantastical. He wants it to feel in your face and real. And the kills in that movie do feel upsetting and uncomfortable to watch. So in that regards, he did succeed.
The most
does
upsetting,
that feel like a Halloween movie to me? Not really, but I get what he was doing.
And when he kills Danny Trejo, that's like the saddest part to me. It's like, I was good to you, Mikey.
It is.
And as much as we hate it, it fucking had to be there, because you can't that early on, especially make Michael Myers.
You have to establish that there is there's not a shred of hope there. He's
and I see why I don't think this was in theatrical cut. It might have just been extended. I don't recall.
I could tell you
the rape scene that almost happens to the girl by the
director's cut.
Exactly. I get why that was cut, because it makes Michael seem sympathetic to her, like he's saving her by killing them. That's why it was taken out, because you can't have that. Because then it makes him seem like, oh, he's sort of sympathetic to this girl as being raped, versus he's just going to kill these guys and escape. You know what I mean?
Use grape from now on, just in case. So put the G in front of that.
Grape?
Because I'm trying to monetize this video afterwards. You never know at YouTube. I agree. But the funny thing is, Brandon, when these movies came out, it was harder to get the theatrical versions on DVD. They shoved the director's cuts down everybody's throats on Blu-ray and stuff. So most people, they're used to that cut of the movie, where they don't like the Bill Moseley, he was a cop, Karen Black, that stuff. In the theatrical cut, she was the cop, Bill Moseley was a cop, and there was that scene in the movie. Instead, when it got out on a home video, everybody was buying the director's cut, and then it had that scene with the girl in there and stuff. So that's what most people think of. Most people are more accustomed to that than the Bill Moseley is the cop stuff in the movie when they get taken out.
I've got to address a comment in the chat real quick. It's very important. Where is it?
William Driver, disagree with
no.
Brandon?
Evan Fain says, I would rather watch Fried Green Tomatoes than watch anything with Rob Zombie. And listen,
you love that movie, don't you?
I rather watch Fried Green Tomatoes than any movie in fucking existence. So on that point, I would agree with you, Evan. I just wanted to point that out because it's a very important comment.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I agree with that comment as well.
Yes. All right, Cody, just get it over with. I mean, what's your deal with Rob Zombie's Halloween?
I already said it, I thought.
Maybe you did.
Yeah, I think I went first.
I'm sorry. So let's just go to the scales. Now it is officially Rob Zombie's Halloween versus Jason Goes Straight to Hell.
Shit. I'm going to go with Jason Goes to Hell.
Same.
Jason
Goes to Hell is fun to watch, dude.
I'm gonna stick up for Rob Zombie's Halloween on this one.
You're lying to yourself, and everybody, and everybody in the audience knows you would pick Jason Goes to Hell over Rob Zombie's fucking Halloween 2007.
Drop a 1 in the chat if you think I'm full of bull right now. If
He's
you
making
think
me
I'm
so
full
mad,
of
folks.
bull,
I'm
drop
stuttering,
a 1 in
dude.
the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat.
I'm
if you
gonna
think
break
I'm
this
full of
fucking
bull.
candle, okay? If you don't tell the
Don't do
truth.
that. Don't do that. By the way, guys, we have like 1 melt left. We sold out of. God bless you guys. Really quick, I want to say how proud I am of me and my wife, especially my wife, Brandon. We have been in business since 2022, Brandon. We have sold over 3,400 items from You Needed Candles.
That's awesome.
That's a shoot. And so listen, guys, we have 1 Halloween 4 melt left. Go order that. I'm shipping everything out Monday morning. Go order that. Somebody needs to go grab that.
If you guys don't replenish planes, trains, and automobiles, I'm
got
literally
you.
going to send a mail
I've
bomb to
got
your
you.
house.
I've got you.
I'm going to nail bomb. I will do it.
Every time you go. Oh. All right, people think I'm full of bull.
It's because they know you are.
Guys, I'm sticking up for Rob Zombie's Halloween on this one, although I do enjoy a great Adam Marcus film. Let's move. What?
You got to tell the truth here.
I told the truth. You guys are killing me. I've got to stick up for Rob Zombie at some point in this. All right, next up, Brandon, we're moving on to Halloween Resurrection. Cody, I feel like you're a fan.
I am. This is Halloween Resurrection was the first one I saw in theaters. My mom took me. I didn't get to I don't really talk about my mom a lot publicly, but I didn't get to go do a lot of things with my mom. So when I did, and she took me to go see this movie. So it was like this fond memory I have of this movie. And I remember thinking it was so cool seeing Busta Rhymes fight Michael Myers. But with that said, now I haven't seen this movie in probably 20 years. So I don't know if that I would think that's still cool or not. I know the internet hates him versus that fight scene, but I have fond memories of it and I like it. I thought it was a fun movie, and it was before its time.
Brandon, I'm gonna go to you on this one. I'm gonna let you.
Oh,
go ahead, please.
I love the opening scene. I love when he kills Jamie Lee Curtis, and then he hands the knife to the guy who's obsessed with murders. So I really like that. I know some people don't like how they killed off Jamie Lee Curtis in the beginning, but I think it's a solid beginning.
Fair enough. Just out of curiosity, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Resurrection?
Resurrection is it's towards the bottom of my favorites. So
that's such an interesting way to put that. It's towards the bottom of my favorites.
Or so on my list of ones I like, it's towards the bottom. Like it's with the Rob Zombie Halloween. I like it better than the Rob Zombie Halloweens for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Cody, you're getting decimated in the chat. People are saying Resurrection is trash. It's awful. So, Cody, feel free to.
Again, again, you guys are yelling at a 10-year-old who was having a good time with his mom that he doesn't see often. So
y'all are all a bunch of. Brandon, I think that Rick Rosenthal did as good a job as anybody could given the circumstances. I read a book about these movies, and the word was that Busta Rhymes came in and said, "I am not reading a script. I'm going to say what I want to say."
Yeah.
I mean, what would you have done?
I would have fired Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, and you would have been gone.
That's okay. Rick Rosenthal
is a
kicks
rat
fucking ass. Love that guy. Probably the best director of the franchise, I think. Halloween 2 is a fucking masterpiece, dude. Anyways, Resurrection is such an anomaly in the franchise. The fact that we spend the whole movie pretty much in the Myers house is insane.
CGI
so different. Yeah.
CGI house.
They built the house, but then they made a fake background behind it, right? Okay.
Really? Okay.
The whole web stream vlog camera idea is so early 2000s. It blows my mind. The movie is such a weird dated time capsule. The acting is terrible, but the characters are great.
Nice legs. What time do they open?
Thank you.
I always remember that line.
The original score by, I think, Fetus is the one who does the score for that movie. Was pretty good. I think his name is Fetus. The opening scene with Laurie Strode is bizarre. I'm not a fan of the way she went out, but I get it. I thought it was interesting to open him up to what's he going to do now that Laurie Strode is dead, because they're still brother and sister. So what is he going to do? go back home. I thought it was just really.
Do you think
it's
he was
really
going to stare out the
weird.
window too, or?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Interesting concept. The ending with him in the morgue screaming under the burned mask was very cool. Such iconic moments, like, obviously the Trick or Treat Motherfucker by Busta Rhymes. I don't know. I don't think it's near the top of my list. It's probably somewhere near the bottom, but I find it more enjoyable than the Rob Zombie movies, I think, and probably more than 2018 and Ends, if I'm being honest.
Brandon, you know what I would have done?
Not make that movie?
No, but listen to him. Well, I wouldn't have gone in that direction. But what if it's like he kills Jamie Lee Curtis and we find out that the daddy had another kid, like he was cheating on the mom, like something happened. We find out Laurie Strode's daddy had another kid. And so technically we are introduced to this other character that was the half sister to Laurie Strode, and then we find, or the brother, it could be a brother or sister. We find out it really wasn't the last of Michael's bloodline, and technically there was somebody still out there with Myers' blood, and then he could have. You see what I'm saying?
You know what that sounds like? Jason Goes to Hell, the movie you like more than Rob Zombie's 2007 Halloween.
Well, I wasn't finished. I was going to say, but then a worm shows up and crawls up.
Do you guys like this look for me? It's pretty good, right? Like, I'm kind of digging it.
I think you should have done all the fingers.
That and the thumb, just that and the thumb.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I like the color.
You know what? Like,
I like your shirt too.
Thank you.
I don't really feel like picking on Resurrection. I really don't. Like, what do you guys want me to say?
Everybody picks on the Resurrection.
Okay, well, with that said, you don't have to pick on it, but answer this. Knowing that H2O excised Halloween 4, 5, and 6 from existence, and Resurrection is de facto Halloween 4, do you like the direction the story went in, or do you think H2O should have really been the definitive end of that story? With
H2O is the absolute best ending of the entire franchise, hands down, even over Halloween 3, which I love Halloween 3, and that's a great ending. There's no doubt in my mind H2O is the best ending of the franchise, point blank, period.
I think the way they brought him back is the best way they could have brought him back too in Resurrection. I know it's so far-fetched, but if they were going to do something, that's the most believable.
Doesn't that retcon, I don't know if you want to call it a retcon, but the way they explain it away with the paramedic's head being in place of the guy, doesn't that feel like those old serials that the lady in Misery was talking about, where she's like, he didn't get out of the cockadoodie car. They just make up some shit to explain it away. It feels so far-fetched that I always think of Misery. I always think of Misery when she's talking. Every time I watch that movie, I think about Misery. That's fucking
Brandon.
silly.
But let me ask you this, Cody. What would have happened? Let's say if they chopped his head off, and the movie ends. The beginning of Resurrection is they grab Laurie Strode, they put her in the cop car, drive off, they do something with Michael's body, they put his body in the morgue, his head's gone, they got his head and his body on a table. What if all of a sudden, like, Myers' head just regrows on himself?
Yeah.
Because to me,
the mask on it already?
Because to me, no, not with the mask. Like, he gets the mask off of his severed head. What if Myers was an alien, like some kind of humanoid?
Yeah, I like the way they did
I would
it.
have loved that. I want a humanoid.
No, you know what's funny is his head would have come out and would have been a small head, like, like from Super Mario Brothers.
Right.
All right, listen. I'm ready to move on. I don't really want to talk about Resurrection that much. I'm gonna say Resurrection is going up against Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh,
right.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yes. Jason Takes Manhattan is a clear winner.
8 and 8. Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody in the chat, how are we feeling? People in the chat.
They're all going to say Resurrection. Watch. They've been fucking with us the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, let's hear it. Chat, let's hear it. They're talking about Saw. What the hell are they talking about? What in God's name are they talking about?
Well, Dave G says, or not Dave G.
They stopped listening to us.
Casual Villainy says Jason Takes Manhattan. Muzak says Jason Takes Manhattan. Knife Missionary, Movie Misfits, they all say Manhattan. Evan Fain, Manhattan.
Manhattan's going to win.
Carmatic. Bobby Big Boy Knuckles, Ian Lives. Ethan Sidelecki, Slasher Competist. Yeah, everybody says Manhattan.
All right, let's move on. H2O. We kind of talked about this. Let me set the table for you guys on this. This movie is fantastic. Yes, there's problems. Absolutely. First of all, this is the summer Halloween movie, which thank God, because it's finally got a different feel to it. It feels like a summerween movie, which just makes it a great one to watch during the summer. Number two, it's clearly Laurie Strode's best Halloween movie she's done. She's not really playing a character. She's being herself on film to me, which makes this movie feel so authentic. Her performance in that movie to me just feels like that's Laurie Strode. That's really just Jamie Lee Curtis. Josh Hartnett is pretty chill. I like him, and the movie's not long. Like, that's literally like the best things I can say about H2O. I fucking love H2O, and there's Creed in the soundtrack.
The soundtrack is fucking kick ass. The score and the soundtrack are fantastic in H2O. Super underrated.
Yeah, and H2O is one of my favorites out of the franchise, actually. I'd like to think of it connected to the original 6, because there is that deleted scene where they talk about Jamie Lloyd dying, and she has like that
guilt for not being
guilt
there.
thing. So in my mind, I keep that in there, and I keep it all as one thing. So that's
when that movie first came out, I assumed it was part of that first 6, because you didn't know they were excising the first couple of movies. You just assumed that they were not talking about it.
Exactly. So I try to think that it is part of that, and that's my definitive timeline for the Halloween.
And it's weird because with that, you could still pretend that, and it feels like it could be organically connected somehow.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make the most sense, but it still feels like it could be connected. And like that opening scene is probably one of the most atmospheric opening scenes in the whole franchise. It opens with a Sandman.
Sandman. It's scary. It's the you see like the doors open, no one's there. Because when I saw it, I was 10 years old when this movie came out.
Time out. Come on, for God's sakes, can y'all stop spamming the goddamn chat so people can say stuff and I can pull their comments up? Jesus Christ, y'all are killing me with this shit tonight. Like, come on, I'm so easygoing, but let people get their shit out. Michelle Myers, Michael Myers, Brandy Myers, Mullet Myers, like something. Who the fuck is that? Stop it. All right, continue. Like, come on, give me a break. Work with me, people. Like, I got a sense of humor, but I can't see what people are saying. All right, go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Cody. Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was talking about.
The opening scene.
Oh yeah, so the opening scene. Yeah, I thought like when I was 10 when that came out. So watching that, like that was a scary scene for me. I was like, like I was putting myself in like her shoes. I was like, I don't want to go inside that house.
Yeah, don't go in the house, dude.
And then it has like Jason Gordon-Levitt in there, and I fan of Third Rock from the Sun. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. He gets a thing through his head. And I always used to think the other kid was Jamie Kennedy for some reason when I was a kid.
He should have been in that movie.
Like him, dude.
Jamie Kennedy should have been in that movie.
Also, the fact that we got to address this, they have that H6-ish mask in that opening scene. He should have worn that mask the whole fucking movie, because that mask was scary.
I agree.
It looks great, dude. I don't know why we know why they switched it to 7 other fucking masks, but that whole opening scene up until when the cops say Michael Myers, yeah, right, and they shut the door and the opening titles play, fucking perfect.
Perfect.
Atmospheric. Like the movie didn't have a fucking fall atmosphere. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have that, but that opening scene is probably one of the hardest openings of any Halloween film.
I do like LL Cool J in this as well. Like him talking
fantastic.
About like the melon breast. Like, I like him. I would love to see him come back.
The book thing is hilarious with his wife on the phone.
It's funny, Cody, because he did something great and something bad. He did something good by proving that people from different avenues can learn how to become a good actor and learn their place. But he did something bad because he made people think that anybody could do it, apparently. Yeah. And that's the reason Busta Rhymes is in the movie. But I've never seen LL Cool J in something I didn't like him in. I love him in Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but and Busta Rhymes has no idea how big his part in Halloween Resurrections has affected people. But if he went to a con, he would kill, and people would love to meet him.
That's the funny thing.
And he would have no idea. He'd be like, "What?" He probably didn't even know he was in Halloween Resurrection. Like, to be honest with you, he's probably like, "What?"
You may be right.
He's probably like, "Oh, I showed up for 6 days on some movie." Because that's like actors and stuff. Like sometimes they don't remember doing stuff. They're like, people will be like, "I have no idea I did a voice for this whole series of video games. Someone showed me the credits on the back, so I signed it."
I wish, dude. Imagine being that busy and having enough work to just not remember anything you're doing.
That's what Loomis said. I can't think of his name. Loomis from the Rob Zombie.
Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, Malcolm
He's getting old too, so
yeah. well, he said someone gave him a video game to sign. It was like the second.
A video game. Okay.
Yeah, a video game. He said it was like the third installment. He's like, "Why do you want me to sign this? I'm not in it." He's like, "Yes, you are." He turned around. He's like, "No, I remember being in it because I'd be in 1 and 2." And he's like, "You are in 1 and 2." He's like, "I have no idea. It was just this thing I did."
Jesus.
So, you know, like and I have a feeling that's how Busta Rhymes is. Busta Rhymes like,
you know what's fucking crazy about H2O? Besides the mask issue, which we all have a problem with, I'm sure, and the lack of fall ambiance, there's not really anything I can fucking complain about with H2O.
it's fun.
I agree.
I wish it was 30 minutes longer than it is. You know what I mean?
No,
I do. I wish it was longer. It's too short.
The scene when they're in the bathroom is scary as well with the little girl. You feel for these, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, is this little
Fucking
girl and
tense,
his mom's
dude.
going to be okay?
You know what's funny about the movie too? When I was watching the 4K right when it came out, when they show the kids like either knocking on the house or something in the beginning, or they're in front of the house, you see the house behind them, and there's Cenobite scarecrows sitting on the chairs. There's butter, and I just remember freaking out, and I was like, how did they do that? And then I'm like, well, of course this is Dimension. They were making all those Hellraiser films, so it's little Easter eggs. But I love that now. Whenever I watch it, I look for a Butterball sitting on the chair in front of the house.
Yeah, and I love this trope that they did in like the Scream and all the Scream-esque movies. Like, you know, when like the nurse is at the window and you can see her and like all she has to do is like say, "Help, I'm right here," but she can't. Like, I love that. Just like in the beginning of Scream, where she's like walking up to her mom and dad, walking up to the door, and you see him in the back. Like, that stuff scares me.
It's like Sarah Michelle Gellar in Last Summer when she's in the going towards the parade. It's like you're right fucking there on the verge of being saved and you can't make it. That's so scary.
Yeah. That's a trope that they did in that like time frame that they don't really do anymore, and that's something that I kind of miss.
Dude, H2O is so fucking underrated. It fucking sickens me.
Yeah,
I became a really big fan of H2O after the Blumhouse movies were coming out, because I was like, man, that really was about as good as a job as you could do without the, I'll just be honest, without the nerdy Halloween fan things that we would be upset about. Literally, I remember it was right before COVID. I went over and watched that movie with my mom. She'd not once uttered anything about a mask. My point is, as Halloween fans, we have to openly admit that we are going to be upset about nerdy things that really don't matter in the grand scheme. We have to be honest and look ourselves in the mirror and say that. So
as a kid growing up, I never knew there were different masks. I'll be completely honest with you. Same with like the masks on Jason. I never knew they were different. And apparently, I guess the Ghostface masks are different too. And I'm a huge fan of that franchise, and I still can't. I understand the last one is worn down, but I guess those are all different too.
Yep. Every movie, every design.
It's crazy.
All right, so we like H2O, all three of us, but it's got to go up against Friday the 13th. Oh, go ahead, Cody. You had something you want to add?
I'll say I am glad that you guys like this movie, because I'm actually, I keep like, the more and more time goes on, the more and more people do not like H2O. I feel like people loved H2O, and all of a sudden people are shitting on it. So I'm glad that you guys actually like it.
Oh, dude. That's because of the whole, it's Dawson's Creek. They like to, I think it's
what's wrong with Dawson's Creek?
I think it's
that's what I was saying. And I was like,
I'm not a fan, but I think it's cool to be a part of the clique that says it's too 90s, it's too Scream era to be. I think that's the thing.
Imagine
who the fuck cares about that? But yeah, I know.
Imagine living in 2024 and saying, "Oh, that it's just 290s." Literally, that is a godsend right now for anything to feel 90s. Why do you think all these fucking movies are trying to replicate? Nobody likes the time we're living in right now. Everybody wants their movies to feel like they're from the 80s or 90s. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm begging for some Dawson's Creek.
2000, yeah, so it's gonna be 2046. People will be like, "Oh, that's so 2024." It feels just like it feels like a House with the Devil, or like some random movie that came out around this time.
Now, would you guys agree that H2O is the most pizza feeling Halloween film? To me, H2O is pure like Domino's or Pizza Hut.
It's a good chicken wing movie.
I thought
to Brandon,
Freddy vs. Jason was chicken wing movies.
This is my chicken wing movie.
I think it's a pizza movie, but chicken wings and pizza can kind of like go hand in hand.
It's hand in hand. Like it's like pizza and it's like a burgers and fries.
Brandon, how do we feel about pizza and H2O? Is you feeling that? Are you having a different combo?
What are we relating this to though? Like
I just feel so.
Like, what are we talking about?
Well, this is what I'm getting at. When I think of a movie like H2O, I think back to that time, 1998. Pizza was like the coolest thing on God's green earth to a kid at my age. And to me, I just remember like in the late 90s, getting pizza was the best fucking thing in the world. Whether I was getting it from the bowling alley, which bowling alley pizza slaps. All of these kids today have no idea. But like, I just feel like H2O, it's a summer movie. It's a summer-ween movie. Summer, I think pizza, although I eat pizza all year round, but I just feel like H2O is the pizza dinner Halloween
I'll
movie.
give you that. 2-liter root beer. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So now we have to go up against the grain. H2O versus Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is tough.
This I'm going to go with H2O.
Stop. Cody, see, you strike me as I'm not even kidding. You strike me as a guy that's just like, dude, New Blood is literally a perfect Friday the 13th movie. It's got a little bit of weirdness to it. It's got Bad News. You strike me as a huge Terry Kaiser mark.
I'm a Terry Kaiser fan.
What's the issue?
My issue is that I love Halloween H2O more.
This is actually tough, Brandon. I feel like you answered a little bit too quick. I'm not saying you would have changed your mind, but
don't fucking do that. Don't do that.
Dude, this is not easy. Brandon, you can admit it's not an easy choice.
Listen here, goddammit.
I'm listening.
New Blood. Come on. Come on. I should not have to explain. Okay, you're fucking trolling me right now. I'm going to sit back here and let you make the right decision on your own.
So listen, I am going to go New Blood. I'm going to tell you why, Cody. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
You tell me why.
Because Bad News Cruise is my favorite non-Jason, my favorite character of all time from Friday the 13th. That's a shoot. That's a shoot. Besides, like, when you look at the Friday series, to me, Bad News Cruise, that is my number one favorite character.
You like Bad News Cruise better than McCulloch?
Absolutely. McCulloch is a PIMP. Don't know what you heard about me, but I will. And she was 18, by the way. But I will say, Bad News Cruise is like literally my favorite character. My favorite character in the series.
And I'll be honest with you, like, I know the Halloween franchise a lot more than I know the Friday 13th franchise. I love Friday 13th, but sometimes those movies blend together. But so as soon as you said Terry Kaiser, I knew exactly which one it was.
There you have it. But honestly, I'm gonna still say H2O is one of my jams. Unfortunately, it's just got to go up against Kane Hodder's best movie, in my opinion, and
H2O. H2 also has one of my favorite shots of the franchise too, where he's like, that
with the hand coming down.
No, well, that's cool too, but I like the door shot.
Oh, the door shot's great.
I actually have that signed by the Myers who played that, so it's my favorite shot of the movie.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Let's move on. We're almost at 2 hours. I don't want people to start wearing thin. Next up is Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Brandon, please take it away. We're gonna let you take it away.
You want to talk about Halloween perfection? Look no further than Halloween 6. Perfect runtime. Whether you're going theatrical cut or producer's cut, I think the theatrical. I can't speak. I'm so fucking flabbergasted, excited talking about this movie. The theatrical cut is superior to the producer's cut in a lot of ways, but I will say it's probably it is the scariest Myers on screen. It is the best. It might be the best score of the franchise. The best atmosphere, hands down.
No. Out of the franchise?
Atmosphere-wise, absolutely. It feels like Halloween. It feels like fall, even more so than Halloween 2 or 4 to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the incarnation of Tommy Doyle is perfect. I liked all the characters. I'm a fucking mark for the Thorn storyline. I love the cult stuff. I think it's fantastic. I think it perfectly explains away the Michael Myers mythos without detracting from the scariness of it. And to a lot of the people who are worried that Michael raped his niece, or excuse me, Christian raped his niece and the baby is Michael's, I don't think that was the intention of the filmmakers. I think in the producer's cut, they were sort of experimenting with genetics and embryos and stuff like that. I don't think I don't think that was really intended, at least in the theatrical cut. I think that was more of a producer's cut thing. But The Mask is the best in the Halloween 6. Loomis, although underutilized and underused, is fantastic in his final film appearance as Loomis.
It's because he was sick, though, right? That's why
He was sick.
That's why it was sporadic like that.
The movie is genuinely frightening. Myers is genuinely frightening. And I apologize for rambling, but I can go on for 2 hours about this with tidbits of why I love it so much. The kills are fantastic. It's brutal. It's just, I don't know. The only thing I really have a problem with in that movie is the treatment of Jamie Lloyd's character. I think everybody on the planet has a problem with that. We have a problem with the fact that Daniel Harris did not appear, and we have a problem with the way Jamie Lloyd was treated. But other than that, Curse is top tier. It's not my favorite, but it's in the top 5. It's probably in the top 3. Dude, I've got video essays on my channel about this. I can't quantify it here because my brain's moving too fast, but I think you guys can agree, at least Christian can agree, that Halloween 6 is fucking top tier Halloween. Take it away, somebody else.
I agree with everything. To me, like the Halloween feeling of 6, not even the original, not even 2, none of them come close to feeling like the actual atmosphere to me of the actual holiday. It could be February 13th, and I'll put this movie on. I am completely transported to autumn, fall time, just so much.
The lighting in this one is great. I love lighting of when he comes out of the cellar. Like, I love that scene, and when he's going through like the
on the theatrical cut with that corridor with the red light.
With the red light, I like that.
Dude, that guitar chord that plays when Paul Rudd's like, "Come on," and you see the spotlights go over his mask as he's walking towards Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd's holding the fire extinguisher. That's the scariest shot of Myers.
I disagree. I see people in the chat saying the story's convoluted. They don't like this or like that. To me, the scariest thing would have been like, he's under the influence of a satanic cult. That cults freak me out. That's literally, for me, the absolute best case scenario with this whole thing. So to me, it's not convoluted. It wasn't, obviously, Halloween 6 is a mess. There was a lot of problems on it. So obviously it wasn't realized that well, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
This was the first Halloween movie I got on VHS. I got that and Freddy's Revenge on the same day for my birthday. But man, the cover of the poster is one of my favorites too.
Dude, it's iconic.
And I like the poster.
Oh, Brandon, look, I got my pumpkin right there too on top, the Halloween 6 pumpkin.
Good.
That's the best. When that movie ends with that pumpkin,
so good. Iconic,
and the wind's blowing,
yes,
it gives me the goosebumps.
A lot of people don't like the theatrical cut because it's so MTV and it has that sporadic editing. That
was the time, though.
There was a time, and I get that's why a lot of people prefer the producer's cut over it because it's more traditional.
I like the theatrical cut better now.
So I like the theatrical cut way better. The producer's cut's great. It's a whole different. That's awesome.
I loved her.
But dude,
she looks totally different now, though.
It's so good.
What do you mean?
She doesn't look the same.
What happened? Just she got older, or did she change her appearance big time? Did she?
Yeah, change her appearance big time.
I'll be down.
Then I don't know if she's on drugs or whatnot, but I guess she was a handful at this place.
I gotta look her up.
Who the girl played the main character?
Yeah.
She looked really good in Halloween 25 years of Paris.
So when I went to go meet her, I was like, oh, she's not here. Blah, blah. And I was like, oh, wait, that's her right there. Like,
what's her name?
Her name is
Karen Hagen.
Yeah.
Was she nice, Cody, or was she like acting weird?
So she was very nice to me, but I kept hearing that she wasn't nice to other people. And she was like, she kept thinking there was security problems or something. I don't know. There was a story going on with her that she, I guess she was very nice to a handful of people, and I happen to be one of them. So I'm glad I got her at the right time.
Dude, by the way, Saturn Video calls out that quote, "You and the little bastard of yours." John Strode is fucking underrated. I love that fucking character, by the way. Underrated, underrated, underrated. Just wanted to throw that out there, everybody.
I'll look it up later because now I'm interested in seeing her.
Yes, JG Michael, you are correct. The embryo stuff was in the theatrical. The producer's cut is the cut that suggested the full-on rape. That's why a lot of people don't like that shit, because it's just better not thinking about Michael Myers doing that kind of stuff. Am I right, or am I right?
I mean, it's disturbing and it's a little too much, but I don't know. I'm of course it's not like I'm begging to see that kind of stuff in here, but it's like it's the fucking horror genre.
Yeah.
I'm just glad
Like
that
you know what I'm saying?
I get it, but I'm just glad the theatrical cut kind of nixed that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like that a lot better.
But
Plus, I mean, dude, Brother Kane and Full Shine On is probably the best anthem in the series.
I think I'm gonna recover that for Halloween this year. I need to do
Should.
that. I love that song. First time I heard it, I was like, well, somebody ripped off Alice in Chains. But then like the song kept playing, I would listen to it and I'm just like, oh my God, Brandon, this is like, I get these feelings. Whenever I hear the beginning chords that da na 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 na, I can see the wind blowing in the street and the leaves moving. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's so synonymous with one another. The two things.
Mm.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh, this is what I was looking for.
Oh, Michael Lerner. Fuck yeah.
Hey, that's the Skinny Myers. He was
Yeah.
He was the
I
guy
like-
who was power walking in the red light.
There he is in the red lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, where is that? Because I have it in a bag because I met him recently.
He's good, but to me, it's Wilbur.
It's
Yeah,
Wilbur,
yeah.
hands down. And honestly, there's a lot of people. If you talk about Halloween 6 and the various people who played him in that movie, there's a lot of people who are arguing. They say, oh, that's Michael Lerner, not Wilbur. It doesn't matter. It's the
Yeah.
combination of all the actors in that movie who made Halloween 6 Myers so fucking scary. I don't care what shot it is or what scene it is. Every Myers shot in that movie is terrifying. That is the Myers you cannot get away from. Kills came close to that insect-like inhuman Myers, but not quite. Halloween 6 Myers, you are fucked. Like, to me, it's like Jason takes Manhattan
Exactly.
Jason. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Halloween 6 Myers is
You're fucked. Yeah.
it's perfection. I really love it. Everything about it. I understand it's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a movie that is so synonymous to me with falling in love with Halloween. Because that was a movie me and my brother were watching when I really first got into these movies of like 10, 12 years ago, however long. I say 10, it's really longer than that now, but we watched this movie together and just fucking ate it up. We loved it. Watched it out of sequence. I remember we just watched it. We watched 6 together, and the title's badass. The Curse of Michael Myers. I love that word. Dude, everything about this movie. It's such an. It's literally. It's obvious. It's kind of like this movie. It's kind of like Slaughter or Warrant's Cherry Pie. It's literally the absolute heartbeat before Nirvana's Nevermind. And when the Nevermind I'm referencing is Scream, where that changed everything. This movie is the last heartbeat of what that style was like before it changed with Scream. It's the heartbeat right before it. You know, just I love those movies that are like that absolute bookend of a chapter in time. Dude, can't beat it. Brandon, I'm gonna absolutely crush your spirits with this, but I'm gonna. Cody, do you have anything more to add about Halloween Curse of Michael Myers?
No, so I do like it, but it's not in my top 5. It's like right after my top 5.
This is in my top 4, I think. But I'm gonna say this, Brandon. I love you to death, dude. And I love Jason Lives. I'm gonna go Curse of Michael Myers.
God damn.
And I'm going Jason Lives.
Jason Lives.
I'm gonna go Curse. I really am.
Christian's like twice in the stream, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
Twice.
Let's move on. I'm getting tired. We're at 2 hours race. So we're gonna breeze through these. Next up is Halloween 5. Brandon, speak your piece on Halloween 5.
Halloween 5 is a hidden gem.
He's been ready for this one.
It is a piece of European cinema art house film. It is completely a giallo-inspired slasher. Great lighting, great cinematography, great atmosphere, great mood. The story can be convoluted. I get it, but it's done in a very artsy, stylistic way that I think makes it work. It feels very, very European in nature. It feels like it could be something from Argento, even. Maybe not of the quality, but it feels like it could be an Argento film. It has a weird, I'm not saying it's anything like this movie, but there's sort of a weird,
It's quirky.
quirky ish, like Italian cinema ishness to this film that I can't explain beyond that. It's just got a weird, and obviously it goes to the director. What is his name? Amir Odenfjord. I don't know how you say his name. I think he's a French
Anthony
director.
Othen and Gerard.
Yeah, but it's that French, it's that European, just hallmark. The cinema is just different over there. I think Halloween 5 reflects that. I think the big,
Dominic Othen and Gerard.
yeah, right, exactly. The big Myers house being like a cathedral-like mansion, I think was a big part of this. It's operatic. It's colossal. It really adds a gothic flair to the series that didn't have before that. Halloween 4, great fucking slasher movie, straightforward Halloween movie. Halloween 5 really introduced a lot of really strange, besides the plot, a lot of really strange visual elements that are just, I eat them up. I think the film is so good, so underrated, so misunderstood. But again, I can see why people don't like it. Tina's kind of annoying. I like the character. I defend the character, but I get why people don't like it. The goofy cops, the goofy music cues when the cops are walking away, like the circus music. I love all that shit, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. The mask is weird looking. The hermit thing's really bizarre. But the introduction of the telepathic element between Myers and Jamie is a cool concept. One that's not really explored again after this film, obviously. But I think it's really underrated. Is the ending goofy with Myers sitting there in chains and shackles? Yes, it's goofy. But also that ending is so fucking bold and so out of left field that if I was watching Halloween 5 with a fresh pair of eyes in 1989 and had just seen Halloween 4 the year before, I'd be like, holy fuck, where the hell are they going to go next? That's what I would be. I wouldn't be saying, oh, what a stupid ending.
Yeah.
I would be super like, holy shit, they're going to do something really cool next. That's my take.
Yeah, I just rewatched Halloween 5. I did a video on it. I have to edit it tonight and get it posted for my patrons and everything, so it'll be up this week. But I loved the ending. Like the bodies when you see all the bodies in the in the county jail, really, whatever that was, dude, hell was raised in there. And it's just this little seeing Daniel Harris literally just like kind of walk through this place with these adult guys just dead and bludgeoned everywhere. It's such a startling visual that watching it back, just like, damn. I love Halloween 5, man. It is so off the wall weird. And I think a lot of it really is just a cultural, it comes across so ridiculous to us as Americans, but I really think that cultural difference is just jarring to people. Like I have a theory that now this wasn't intentional, I don't think, but I have a theory that Loomis got addicted to alcohol after driving with a preacher in 4. And that's why his character is, he's kind of a little hazy. He is aggressive and mean.
Yes.
And just the way he's like yells at Daniel Harris and the way
he's fucking, yeah.
I think he's an alcoholic and he got hooked on booze after the preacher got him sipping on that stuff in 4.
Exactly. Agreed. And his fucking spirit isn't broken, dude. Like he is so tired and so over the shit.
Yeah, man, you're right. He's not very nice to her.
He's not nice to anybody. He's desperate. Yeah. He's got to end it. And as far as I'm concerned, I know he's in 6, but I feel like, again, like in Halloween 2, he was intended to be dead at the end of this film. He gets stabbed through the gut. He's laying on Myers. You don't see him again. You don't hear them say, oh, we took him to the hospital. I think he was intended to die in this film from a heart attack. That's what it seems like. And I don't know, man. The mask, I'm not a huge fan of the Nicolas Cage mask, but I do like it for what it is. I just wish it had been the Halloween 4 mask again. But that Halloween 5 opening with the river.
People shit on Halloween. People shit on the Halloween 4 mask too, but at least Halloween 4 has an excuse because it's literally a store-bought cheap mask he got that is probably a cheap knockoff of which is still kind of like, I'd say it's off the wall, but at the same time, I mean, I see John Wayne Gacy masks in Spirit Halloween. So it's like, I guess it's really
scary.
So, but my point is, people don't like it, or there's a section of people that don't like it, but at least that movie has the excuse of him getting, he robbed the mask out of a drugstore, but magically in 5, it completely takes on a totally different look, appeal, and shape. That's the same mask, but it's like, so people get onto Halloween 5, I can understand it more because they didn't even bother They didn't even bother to try to make it look like 4.
No, he goes into the river and it's the Halloween 5 mask. And what the hell? It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. You just showed him the flashback.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what?
like the Halloween 5 mask, and but I like 5. Again, not a perfect movie, but it's so all of the big 3 slashers from '89 are really weird movies. One goes to Manhattan. One is about dealing with abortion, and then the other one is a European giallo film. So it's like it's like
so
all 3 of
giallo.
them from '89 are just weird, but and I love all 3 of them. But I love Halloween 5. I think it's so quirky and funny, but at the same time visceral. And the stuff that I really love that reminds me of like, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is as good as an Argento movie, but there's stuff that the camera work in this movie does that's so different. Like when Jamie Lloyd is running under the children's home and she's down in like that cellar room, and the camera person's literally booking it, following her, and she's going through the all the dry cleaning towels and stuff, and she ends up in that little corridor where the guy chases that dude. That scene is fucking great.
Mhm.
So I think
Yeah.
there's stuff about 5 that is done really well, but when you've got bells and whistles making sounds for cops, like I agree, it's not necessary, but it's so fucking stupid.
That is my least favorite part, and I never really noticed it until I was older. Was those? Yeah.
What I hate is how Ellie Cornell had a stick up her ass about getting a brutal death scene in here. So she
Yeah.
was like, they wanted to shove the scissors down her throat. So then he literally puts the scissors in his hand like this. So all the scissors are sticking out the top. And it was the cheapest kill of all time. Why would you like that? Stop being selfish. Why would you not want the audience to see something like, oh, wow, like that's bullshit. So she loses brownie points with me for that.
Maybe she took it as it was going to be like a sexual death or something. Like, I don't know.
Get over yourself. He's just tired of this Michael Myers bullshit, and I get his frustration. The only one who can't help isn't taking. Thank you, movie. Movie Mister. Thank you so much, man. So it sounds like we all kind of like 5.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to go up against Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Who's taking it first?
I'm going to start first.
5. Okay.
I'm going to take it first. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning is a fucking incredible slasher film. And does what it's doing better than Halloween 5 does what it's doing. It's a new beginning.
Agreed.
Plus pseudo echo.
Yep.
And all those. And 5 has some good songs in it too, but come on, dude. It's Roy Burns.
I'm going with Halloween 5.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Cody, you strike me as a new beginning.
No, he don't strike me as a new beginning guy.
So Halloween 5 is something that was on repeat.
I love the people saying I guess Part 5 means Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Part 5.
Okay. What were you saying, Cody, though?
Oh, I say Halloween 5 is a movie I watched constantly when I was a kid.
In Halloween Kills, Brandon at Cocaine Bear is Christian, Little John, or Big John?
He's Big John. He's the one dancing.
Oh, thank you so much, Mountain Veteran.
Muzak, yes, Friday 5 is an art house film as far as I'm concerned, and very giallo-esque. It's obviously not a straightforward giallo, but it's very giallo-esque, especially the sequence where not Tina. Yeah, Tina gets killed in the house. That whole sequence leading up to it, especially where you see him in the closet behind her.
Yeah.
All of that shit screams giallo to me. There's other elements in the film too, but that scene especially, fucking art house all the way. Especially that last act in the Myers house. Art house as it gets. I don't care what the fuck you people say.
So we have 2-1. Wow. And there's a lot of love for H5 in this one.
Yep.
There we go. Anyway, let's move on. Halloween 4. I want to start with Cody on this because I know Brandon's got some interesting things about 4.
So Halloween 4 is my favorite of the franchise. I think that this one has, you guys were talking about how 6 has the most atmospheric of Halloween. I feel like this one does. Like in the opening scene, I feel like this completely screams Halloween to me. And it's the most Halloween out of the franchise. This is the movie that was more acceptable, or this is the one that was more available to me when I was a kid. So I watched this all the time, this and 5. So that's why I picked 5 over Jason or A New Beginning, because this one is something that is a very nostalgic watch to me. These two these two go together. Although I know 5 is further down the list on mine, but 4 is my number 1 of the franchise. I always like if it's my go-to. If I want to have a good time, just watch a Halloween movie, it's always part 4.
But you know what gets me when people talk about the opening of part 4? To me, that's not the best thing about the movie. To me, the best part about the movie is when they get to the psychiatric center and you hear the screaming and you got that weird big-eyed cop guy or the big security guy who's just like, oh, we're going to that guy, that kind of Mortis kind of guy. That's the best part of the movie to me. Because that's where the real I get it, the opening with the farm and the field.
Mhm.
But for me, it's when they're at the psychiatric place and then that funny cop. That's my favorite part of the movie, where he says that Jesus ain't got nothing to do with it. That's Halloween 4 to me. That's my favorite part. And the fact that Halloween theme plays when he's being carted out was different. You wouldn't have expected them to do that, I think. Yeah, I love 4 as well. I love the mask in this one. I do think it works really well. And Wilbur, his best scene is when he goes up to the boyfriend, takes the gun, breaks it, drops it down Wilbur is a bad motherfucker. But there's something about 4 that annoys the shit out of me. When he chokes the boy, he's lifting him up. You can't breathe at all, but somehow the boy is able to spit out blood easily while he's getting lifted. He goes, and then he goes back to me. That makes zero sense to me. That's the only thing about this movie I don't like. That one little thing, it makes zero sense how he's physically able to do that.
That was an actor's choice, though.
I feel like that was a mistake that they left in accidentally or something. Like
had to have
they
been.
should have cut it.
Well, so that's what, because when I went to H45, I met the boyfriend who was in that scene, and they told him to do something, and that's what he did, and they left it in there. And he thought he messed up. He's like, oh no, but they said that, oh, that's really cool, looks good, and that's like now that's the number 1 8x10 he sells. So it was his choice to do that. Yeah. It was on the spot kind of, I don't think he was thinking kind of thing.
And fair enough. But to me, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm off the ground, this guy's lifting me up. How can I physically do that? But anyway, that sequence of seeing Myers on that staircase, dude, that Wilbur. And I know that there were other actors in there. It's funny when I met the guy, Tom, the Tom Morga, he had Halloween 4 pictures. I was like, wait a minute. He's like, yeah, I did stuff.
It's him wrapped up, right? Yeah.
He did apparently. He told me, he goes, I did a lot of stuff for that movie. People don't realize, but I know when I see George Wilbur on screen, I know it's him. And dude, that's my favorite Myers.
Is he still alive, Wilbur?
No, he just passed away.
Year, I think.
He just passed away. I think the score is great. I think all that kind of stuff. I love this movie. I love the ending. I think Loomis is just fucking great in this one too. I really do.
And I love this. I love the scene on the roof and when he's killing all the people on the truck. I think about that scene all the time, even though it makes no sense on how it can happen.
How he physically could have done that.
I always think about that, and it freaks me out. Still, like when I'm driving, like say I'm in a truck or something, I was like, I've seen Halloween 4.
Well, the thing. I'll tee Brandon off with this. It's funny. Brandon said something that I never thought about, but I guess I should have. He's still got all his bandages on
underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he took them off.
I don't think he did. I think you can see a little bit of it in the movie. I don't know. Maybe not.
When he's going like this, it looks like he still has the bandages on.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with everything you guys are saying about Halloween 4. It is a perfect Halloween film, perfect Halloween sequel. It's definitely in my top 5. It's probably in my top 3 or 4. I think the opening sequence in the countryside is fantastic. Super great Halloween fall atmosphere. Cody, to your point, I agree. I think Halloween 6's atmosphere is better, but I get why you would say this one's better. That atmosphere alone's great. The school Halloween atmosphere really feels like school Halloween nostalgia back in the day. Obviously, the whole Vincent drugstore scene feels like old school Halloween drugstores that had masks and stuff, like old school Eckards and Hobbs Drugs Pharmacy, all that kind of stuff. It feels old school Halloween. I love it. Fantastic, moody atmosphere. I think Michael Myers, George P. Wilbur, fantastic. One of my favorite Myers, obviously. I think the mask is underrated and people make fun of it, but I think it's low key one of the scariest masks in the franchise. It actually looks expressionless and simple and plain. I love it. That's why I have so many in the collection. I have like 12 Halloween 4 masks. Fan-fucking-tastic, even including the pink mask in the film. I think the bandage Myers is really scary. Great design. I'm glad he didn't stick with it the whole time, but I'm glad we still at least got 1 or 2 scenes with him in it. The ambulance scene where he puts his finger through the guy's forehead, it's fan-fucking-tastic. The opening scene in the psychiatrist unit's great. The roof sequence is awesome. The truck sequence is awesome. The school sequence is awesome. I love all the townsfolk, a la Halloween Kills, going after Myers and shooting the guy accidentally in the little shrub house thing. It's fucking hysterical.
And look, oops, I guess we're our bad. Like
Jamie Lloyd's a great protagonist. Tina's a great secondary protagonist. I like all the characters, even the asshole boyfriend, fantastic. I liked Deputy, what's his name? Not Deputy, Sheriff
Brackett.
Well, I mean, not Brackett, Sheriff
Meeker.
Meeker. Fantastic. I think Deputy Hunt from Halloween 2 should have been the sheriff in this movie.
But I like Brackett a lot.
But Brackett's fantastic. He's great.
You know why he's great? He listened.
He listened to Loomis. Loomis himself is fantastic. Great return to form. Fantastic story. I love Loomis in this film. But yeah, Meeker kicks fucking ass. The only thing I don't like about Halloween 4 is a couple of things. Is it's too short. I wish it had been 15, 20 minutes longer. And I think the movie should have been shot in 235 scope versus the 1.88. It looks too flat. It looks too... Halloween 1 and 2 had that scope feel because it was super wide. It was 2.35 or 2.39. And I love that. It lends itself to that really like ominous feeling of Michael Myers could be anywhere. And Halloween 4 has that, but I feel like if it had been in the super wide aspect ratio, it would have been a lot better. But that's my only gripes. And they're not even really gripes because I still love the fucking movie. It's just I wish those things had been applied.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Is it better than Friday the 13th, the final chapter?
Dang, they're both bangers.
This is probably the hardest one. Because this is the option where I feel like no matter which choice you make, you're going to feel wrong about it. I want to say part 4 Friday, but I want to say Halloween 4. Come back to me last. I got to think about this. I got to hear you guys' thoughts first.
All right, so Halloween 4 is going to be mine.
But why though?
But why, like again, this is the movie I watch all the time, and I think I really like this because I'm from the desert. So when it comes to Halloween time, it looks nothing like what everybody else sees for Halloween. So when I watch stuff like this, it's like especially now that I'm older, I feel like I missed out on like those kind of holidays, like the real, like even though I had good Halloweens out here, they just weren't like the traditional Halloween. So this movie gives that to me. Like, whenever I watch it, I feel cold. Like it's cold outside. And, I just like this movie. I like the pacing of it. I would definitely like to see,
color timing.
Yeah, the color timing is great. No, and
Brandon went to school for that stuff, so I can allow him that. Brandon, you can meet me halfway. When people that in accounting talk to me about movies and they talk about color timing, you can understand how I kind of chuckle. Come on, wait, it's like, come on, meet me halfway. It's silly. All right, he's holding off. Finish, Cody.
But since this one is my favorite of the franchise, it's like the movie I go back to. I can't pick another entry from another franchise as the best.
You want me to go next?
Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna make the call. If I regret this later, I'll leave a comment in the comments of this video.
You want me to go?
I'm going with Friday 4. I got to go with Friday 4. I just got to.
I'm gonna follow up, and I'm gonna say this: Friday the 13th, the final chapter, in my opinion, is the greatest slasher film of all time. Period. The greatest slasher film of all time. So I love Halloween 4, but
it's Friday the 13th, the final chapter. That is the culmination. That is the true culmination of those movies in a lot of ways.
Mhm. See, and I feel like I can't pick Friday final chapter because then that would take away my because I like Halloween's. I like that overall as a better franchise. So, and Halloween 4 is my favorite, so I can't pick something from a different franchise.
There's no wrong answer. There really is no wrong answer. But dude, Halloween 4 is fantastic.
Mm.
But the final chapter to me is literally, I think it's the greatest slasher film of all time.
I'm sticking with Halloween 4 just because I've seen it way more times.
No, if there's a movie that's going to go up against Final Chapter, it is Halloween 4. So either answer, like Kristen said, I think is perfect.
It's yeah.
It's
I'm not gonna give anybody any crap for this. Let's move on.
Wait till the comment section at the end.
Let's move on. Let's kind of be brief about this. Halloween 3. I don't really want to repeat all the same jargon everybody says 1,000 times over. I'll ask this: do you like the movie, and did you like it from the first time you watched it, Cody?
Okay, when I saw it, I bought it and I hated it because I was a kid expecting Michael Myers. That's my god honest answer as a little kid. I was like, what the hell is this?
Right.
But now I respect it and I like it a lot more. It's not one of my favorites towards the bottom of my favorites or towards the end. So it's not even in my top 5. But I do like it.
What's your favorite mask out of the 3?
I like the pumpkin.
I like the witch. The witch is my favorite.
Yeah.
The
avocado.
Brandon, you want to follow up on that?
The first time I saw Halloween 3 was on VHS, obviously. And I remember the first time I saw it, I didn't hate it or like it. I was just confused because at that point I didn't know Myers wasn't in the film. And I didn't understand why he was on TV and there was a movie called Halloween. I just didn't get it. But I didn't hate the film or enjoy it. I saw it a couple more times over the next few years and I started to like it. I love the film now. Have loved it for a long time. Favorite witch mask. Favorite mask is the witch also. But I just have a hard time even to this day ranking it against the other ones because it's still not the mainline franchise. So it's hard for me to like put it up against the other ones.
Right.
I love it. There's a disconnect for me that's never really going to go away because it's not really a part of the franchise besides the name, which is just so weird to me still.
Mm-hmm.
But I do love the film. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. The soundtrack's really good. Really cool story. I just think maybe like
your whole
everybody
thing
said
was
for years.
your whole thing is where's the goddamn Stonehenge? How did they get it there?
Yeah, it's just what a fucking out of left field movie. I couldn't imagine being an audience member in 1982 or whatever. I mean, like,
It's still really weird.
It's very weird.
It never gets unweird, right?
But I feel like Halloween 3 feels the most John Carpenter-y out of the first 3 films.
Oh, sure.
Like it has the.
I love the music too.
Yeah.
It
A
might
great
have-
fucking movie.
If they would have done 3 as 2, they could have continued that different move for each one. But I
don't think so.
You don't think so?
I really don't think so. I think even by 1, people were like, "Holy shit!"
They were married to Myers.
Okay. I really do. You know?
Do you think it was a mistake that they made Halloween a movie in Halloween 3 versus saying Michael Myers is canon and existed? This takes place somewhere else, and maybe this Stonehenge power is responsible for Michael's evil. They could have done that. Like they didn't have to make Myers a movie within a movie.
I think they were doing that as like a fan. That was fan service back in '82. They were fan servicing it, just letting them know, hey, we do know about this. And I think that they were like, hey, in their minds, they weren't going back to Michael Myers. It wasn't that. It was a time where they didn't have to go back to that kind of thing. Nowadays, they would never do that. They would.
Well, they
would do what you said.
When you read about how much they didn't want to do another sequel after 2, Deborah, it's like, what's another way we can shoot this dog in the backyard? Put the movie on the put the movie in the movie to let them know that shit is a movie there. So it's like there's truly be no connection, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love Halloween 3. This is my favorite Halloween movie. I have no issue saying that. I really don't give a rat's ass what people think. I fucking love Halloween 3. I really do. So this is going up against Friday the 13th Part 3 for me, and this is a clear winner. It's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
And mine is Friday the 13th Part 3.
Same. I like Friday the 13th Part 3 better.
Fuck both of you then. Let's
And
move
Part
on.
3 is not one of my favorite Fridays, by the way. I just like it better than.
Well, that
Halloween
Jason
3.
is fantastic, but I fucking dude, I love Halloween 3. I always will. Let's move on. Chat, please drop your comments down below. Halloween 2. Brandon, take us away on Halloween 2 because I think you could surmise this movie pretty well.
I think Halloween 2 is as perfect a sequel to any slasher movie you could have. It picks up right where the first one leaves off. It looks pretty much just as good as the first movie as far as visual quality goes, including sound design too. So visual, audio quality, it syncs up with the first movie perfectly to me. Perfectly, even the scope. I think it might have been 235 instead of 239. So there's a slight variation, but it's still super wide, looks great, lit well, acted well, cast of characters was fantastic. It moves the story along perfectly, takes place on the same night. We progress the story further with the brother sister angle. We learn about the Samhain stuff, learn more about Michael's backstory. We get a lot more Loomis. We get a lot more Brackett. I think it's seeing all these new characters, old characters and new characters expanded upon. I love everything about it. The atmosphere is great. Michael Myers it's my favorite version of Myers, not the scariest, but my favorite. The Halloween 2 Myers, that mask, the way it looks on Dick Warlock, everything about the hospital, the fire at the end. Halloween 2 is one of those movies I find to be intoxicating. I could watch it endlessly, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. And there's so much more to say about Halloween 2. But Halloween 2 somehow feels more cozy and more vintage than the first movie, which came out 3 or 4 years prior. It feels more, there's something so VHS-ish about Halloween 2. It feels like a TV movie in the best way.
Well, I'm going to take it a step further on that because I remember when you talked about that, I thought about that and I agreed with it. When I think of Halloween 2, it reminds me of the wood age of the late 70s and early 80s of like the wood panel wallpaper, the TVs that are the furniture looking TVs that have like the big wood bases. And they've got like, there's something that's reminds me of the wood age so much of Halloween 2. That makes it does feel more vintage. And the poster, no doubt in my mind, dude, it's better.
Fucking
like
iconic.
The pumpkin skull is I love that, but that pumpkin skull is perfect. And we all went ape shit. I don't know why Brandon didn't get that at Spirit of Halloween, the Halloween 2 pumpkin.
We never had them here. I never saw one anywhere at any of the spirits around here.
Dude, they're fucking amazing.
I actually saw them in Spencer's. They had like 5 of them at my Spencer's. So I don't know if somebody heard them. Yeah, so try Spencer's.
I should do that. We have a Spencer's at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man, but Halloween 2 is my favorite Halloween movie of all time by far.
And it introduces Mr. Sandman, right? The song?
It does, yeah.
Which in my mind, that's like the song of the franchise when I was a kid. Then when I got older and rewatched it, I was like, oh, it's only in like 2 movies.
And I love that sequence right after the first movie where you see the POV from Michael's point of view walking through the neighborhood. He's getting barked at by the dog.
Mm-hmm.
He sees Loomis way down the alley talking about how he shot him. Mm-hmm. It's so weird seeing the film from that sort of, I don't know.
It was new. It was like, I don't know any other movies where they had the first one and the second one take place on the same night.
Yeah, it was just so goddamn
good.
Brandon,
it
actually glows.
Yeah, if you watch it, the light goes in and out.
I would give that a repaint for sure.
Yeah, but I did not get this. I just didn't have the room.
What is that made of? Resin? I've heard it's like cracking and people are finding them broken and stuff.
Mine's in perfect condition. It is.
They're not glass, are they? It is resin.
Well, it's like I think it's porcelain or resin. It definitely could shatter if you dropped it.
This is the only thing I got from Spirit this year.
See, I almost got that and I didn't. They don't have it anymore. I kind of regret not buying it.
I didn't know that they made these. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about this. They made Trick or Treat pumpkin pails out of that. And look, it says it's got the
avocado,
but it does look like an. Tell me it doesn't look like an avocado.
It does. Yeah.
But look,
it
has an emblem, and I thought it was a Silver Shamrock emblem. It says Don Post Studios.
Oh, nice. Like the original ones.
Where'd you get that? Walmart? You said.
I order off of Walmart.com, but I mean, it's not from Walmart themselves. People use Walmart as like a distribution thing. But here's what I was going to say. So you remember
those?
Yeah, this is Trick or Treat Studios. But do you guys remember when we found out that Trick or Treat Studios was like losing their Universal license and everybody was freaking out, going out and buying the Halloween stuff? We're idiots. We should have realized because they had announced they bought Don Post Studios already. So we should have realized those Halloween 3 masks aren't going anywhere. They're just not going to be labeled as Halloween 3 masks because the molds and the IP of those designs are from Don Post Studios. So everybody was freaking out, going out and buying all the Halloween 3 stuff that they had available, not realizing that most of it is going to be, it's going to be available. So it's just going to be labeled like this as Don Post Studios, which is kind of cooler. If you want my honest opinion, that feels more authentic than being labeled as Halloween 3 because all that stuff was Don Post masks back then. So
I do like in Halloween 2, the scene where like the lady's making a sandwich, like that whole scene. I love that whole scene.
dude,
Yes.
and speaking of wood age, yeah, it's funny because I was watching Halloween 2 earlier before we were doing the show, and dude, it really is cozy. Like I want to watch Halloween 2 in a wood paneled room with a fire pit going on, popcorn, soda, and
Storming outside.
and a nice ugly recliner single person chair. You know,
And a
like
fat cat.
yeah.
It's also the first film appearance by Dana Carvey.
That's right.
He's the
With
guy
report-
with the
He's with the reporter. Yeah, he's like in Sheriff Brackett's front yard, right?
Yeah, right before
Or
they
not
wheel
Sheriff
out
Brackett's,
Lori.
Lori,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So
Maybe the camera guy, maybe actually. I'm not sure.
look, we all love Halloween 2. The chat clearly loves Halloween 2. Halloween 2 is better than Friday the 13th Part 2. I think we can
Yes.
all agree with that.
I agree. Actually, Christian, I'm surprised you agree with that. I thought Friday the 13th Part 2 was like your jam.
Because I like Friday the 13th more than Friday the 13th Part 2. That I will say.
Mm.
I really do. I think people shit on Sean Cunningham way too much in that movie. And everybody is TikTok generation now. So they say, oh, well, Friday the 13th is slow. No, it's just called building tension and you know, like the scenes that people hate the most in Friday the 13th are my favorites. The scenes where Alice is just kind of like prepping
Making
stuff in the
coffee.
kitchen.
Yeah.
The tension, because you know that there is murder going on in this place, and she is so unaware of what's about to happen. I love that stuff. But nowadays, everybody's just like, oh, it's boring, it's slow. The character development, like, oh,
Yeah.
please shut the fuck up.
Well,
Oh my god.
I'm starting to hear from a lot of people that Halloween 2 is boring. I'm like,
Well, here's the thing.
what? It's like,
How
why?
many times people can say this? How many fucking times have you watched it? Eventually, you're gonna be like,
Mhm.
oh god, like, how about you stop watching that and watch something else? Some people watch this shit like 80,000 times a year. Give me a fucking break. Watch it once a year. Once. I watched mine just the other day for the one time this year. The one time. Some of you motherfuckers watch this shit way
Once
too
a
much,
week. Yeah.
you know. Let's move on, Brandon, to Halloween 1978. I mean, what do we? First of all,
There's
it's
nothing
kind of
to say about this movie. It's an
It's an American staple of cinema, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's anywhere near the best Halloween film. Well, I shouldn't say not anywhere near. but
near.
I'll tell you, this is where me and you are going to disagree. I know me and you are going to disagree about this. I love Alan Howarth and the stuff he did, but the first soundtrack is the perfect soundtrack. Everything after that is flattering and has some cool stuff, but that gothic stuff for 2, I like it. It is not better than John's soundtrack for Part 1. I will stand hardline on that.
Disagree, but I hear you. I don't really know what to say about Halloween 1. I mean, how do you? That's like talking about Jaws. It's one of those movies. It's just like, what do you say? The
It's about
lighting, the
shark.
cinematography, let's be honest though, the acting is fucking terrible on pretty much all accounts except for Loomis in Halloween 1. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is not good. The chick who plays Annie is not good. PJ Souls is terrible. Everybody is fucking terrible except for Loomis in Halloween 1.
Is it weird the bad acting just has never bothered me? Like, yes, I
It
can.
doesn't bother me either.
because it's even.
It doesn't bother me
It's
either. But it's just funny because
It's even across the board.
well, yeah.
If there's
Halloween 1 is
somebody like in
perfect.
Leprechaun 2 that it's so bad at acting, it's like Mortis and his buddy that have the
Yeah.
first stuff. They're both silly and stuff like that. But if there's one really bad actor, it'll make everything uneven. But there's an even keelness to it
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily bad, but it's definitely like, yes, it's not Martin Scorsese acting stuff that he had going on in his movies. That
Okay,
I'll
fine. Even keel of mediocre acting the whole way through, and Loomis is so good that it fucking elevates everything else.
Mhm.
It is, and he's quirky still with the way he deals with this, with his speeches and monologues. So it could have jarred everything else, but it didn't. It did in fact elevate it. I agree.
And it's so that movie is so full of flaws that we could pick and point out. But
And John Carpenter would agree with that.
Yeah, and it's the perfect horror movie. It really is the perfect horror movie.
Dude, I'm sorry. Hold on. Literally, people talk about what makes Halloween so great. It's unequivocally 1,000%, 1,000,000% not up for debate. The music. The music is 1,000,000% that.
Well, that's what they said, didn't they? Like had it without music, and it was not scary. They
The
put
first
music
screener, he didn't have the music done, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, and then
But
once
I
they
feel
put
like
the
that's
music
any
in
movie, really. You know what I mean? I feel like that's any movie.
For definitely a lot of them, 1,000%. Because yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of it. But I just can't understand how you can hear John's score, which is to me literally perfect, and even that has a few flaws in it with the way he times some of the
Does.
stuff for like, but still, the gothic thing, it works great for Halloween 2, but still, I don't. The score for 1 is literally the act. It's perfect. The
I love-
original 78 theme song is the best Halloween theme
I
song.
get it, but that early 80s synth sound that the entire Halloween 2 soundtrack has adds to that cozy, weird flair I was talking about. I swear to God, it's a better
It works for the
soundtrack.
film.
I
I
promise.
totally agree with that.
Even Laurie's theme in Halloween 2 exceeds Laurie's theme in the first
See,
one by
that's
far.
but I got to disagree with you on that. It's too harsh because in the original that dun, 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 it's subtle. It's mesa forte, but on the Halloween 2 one, it's too attacky and antithetical to the way that theme hits. It's supposed to be soft and unassuming, and it's like the vibe is off, but it's just spiky. That organ, dun, 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 it doesn't work. I hate that gothic piece. I hate that.
I
That's
love
the
it.
one I hate the most. It
Fucking
doesn't.
fantastic.
Yeah, but it sounds the exact opposite of the way that song is supposed to resonate underneath. But when in that movie, it's just dun 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 dun.
Does everybody in the chat see how Christian is fucking trolls me the whole time?
I'm not
You know,
trolling,
it's
dude.
just-
It's like no, I after about Curse of Michael Myers, I totally came down now. My sugar is completely worn off, and I want to have a discussion. I will fight tooth and nail and say that the original score is the best, and nothing has ever touched it.
I will even say that the original score is fantastic, but I swear to God, you put Halloween 2 soundtrack on and then you put Halloween 1 soundtrack on. Don't get me wrong. The soundtrack is great for the first movie, but I swear to God, the first soundtrack gets a little redundant. It really does. Halloween 2 has a lot of mix and different stuff happening.
It's
The first movie soundtrack really gets boring. I'm just trying to put that out there.
But if you would ask any average Joe out of a lineup, or if you had like, say this is Family Feud and you're asking 100 people off the streets, they're going to say number 1 has the best soundtrack. They're not going to even know what 2 is.
So Halloween, Cody, do you have anything you want to add to Halloween? Is there anything quirky about it that you want to mention that hasn't already been said a bajillion times?
No, I like that scene where he's like, I forgot what he says, but he like scares off the kids. Dr. Loomis, what does he say to the kids?
Get
He's
your
like,
ass out.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I don't know why. It makes me laugh.
Dude, shout out Big Crack Rock. False, by the way. False, but check out Big Crack Rock in the chat. He's wearing my Part 5 mask in that photo. Is that dope?
Oh, that is cool. Are those
He sent me-
guns pointing
Yeah,
at
he
his
sent me
head?
the photo on eBay. He's got his 2 pistols like this with the mask on. I'm like, dude, that's fucking sweet.
That is true. I am a musician, so I do feel like I can sound nerdy about music a little bit, and I
But-
respect the fact that Brandon is a filmmaker, so he
Yeah,
can talk about
but
teletubby.
you're still wrong, though. You're still wrong about the soundtrack. Just so you know.
The score is a masterpiece, but Michael stalking his victims is unmatched. I don't care what anyone says. Annie is the cause of Michael's. That's another thing. There's this weird thing where it's like Annie is the original victim of Michael Myers. Here's the reality.
Why is she?
Because like she's the one that talked to him while he was driving the car. but it's just like that's only stuff that fans can speculate
Yeah.
about because it's all nonsense. John was not even remotely
Thinking about that.
his approach was so basic and simple. That's
Mhm.
literally just fans kind of saying stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan, but I tend to kind of be like John. Like, I'm not going to overthink shit that literally makes no difference
That-
of anything.
That's why I'm not a big fan of fan theories, because it's like, well, that's not how it is. Like they're like, oh, well, Tarzan's related to this person, Elsa, and in Disney, it's like, well, it's not true, so no,
But
don't
I
go
don't know.
chasing waterfalls.
Exactly. Halloween versus Friday the 13th.
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. I gotta go Halloween.
Although I know that
I love
Halloween.
Friday the 13th.
I know Halloween was like the kickoff of the slashers, but I feel like Friday 13th kicked off that version of the slasher, and that version of the slasher had way more impact than Halloween.
Yes. People don't like that, but I think that's true. Halloween needs to exist. It's more important. There's no doubt about that. But what Friday did was create the actual step-by-step blueprint. Okay, so you got to have this killer. They have to have
the sleazy.
they have to have a reason for what they're doing. There has to be. We need to either hire Botine, Savini. We have to hire X-Men of these people. We have to do stuff that's yeah. So, what do you want me to say about Deborah Hill? I'm not disrespecting her or anything. Like, what do you want me to say about her? I like Deborah.
Okay, well, you're not giving PJ Sauls her spotlight either.
Hey, we need to talk about one thing here.
Go.
That sort of like Bob Shea to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, even though Wes Craven originated it. The Nightmare on Elm Street franchise would not exist without Bob Shea. Let's be honest. It would be that first movie. And that's probably it.
Of course.
Halloween would not be Halloween as the franchise we know and love without Mustafa Akkad. He is the true MVP and the true godfather of the Halloween franchise, and I will die on that fucking hill.
Who is?
Mustafa Akkad.
Why not? Hold on, time out. Why not
Erwin Yvonne's? Because he pitched and pioneered the first movie. John Carpenter helmed the first movie. I get it. They again, like Wes Craven with the first Nightmare on Elm Street. But if it wasn't for Mustafa Akkad pushing for more sequels, we wouldn't have got it. We wouldn't have gotten the return of Michael Myers either if it wasn't for Akkad. So Mustafa Akkad is the true MVP and the true caretaker of the franchise. Obviously, until his untimely death. R.I.P.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like Erwin though. He's kind of like Erwin's got a bad attitude.
He's a good. I love fucking Erwin. He's a. I saw that interview he did, I think, with McRae. And he was just like, I'm like, dude, this guy's a sourpuss, but I would love to meet this guy.
I would love him. Yeah. She co-wrote it and wrote the scenes between the girls. I'm just saying she doesn't have credit for that. The interaction. See, I think she's just as important. I was being a little sarcastic. I totally agree with you. But,
she did a lot of great movies.
She did like Clue and The Dead Zone. So I think she went on to do even bigger and better things. So there we have it, guys. We had a lively chat tonight. We had 160 people here still. We're knocking on 3 hours. I'm exhausted. Although I got to stay up. Because I'm on graveyards. I'm exhausted. Brandon, have you watched the Hell House movies? I binged all of them again yesterday when I got my umbrella set.
I've watched none of those movies.
I've never seen any of them.
Listen, Brandon, please watch Hell House LLC and then watch Hell House Origins, The Carmichael Manor. 2 of my favorite found footage movies of all time. All time. I love it.
By the way, real quick, off topic. Did you guys watch The Frog Man? What did you think?
Actually, no, I haven't seen it yet, but I just interviewed Brad
Dorff.
Right.
Actually, I got an update for people kept asking me about Elves and Rocktober Blood. I'm going to give everybody an update right now. I said, hey, Brad, I got a lot of feedback about the interview. I haven't posted it yet, but I just let my audience know I was, in fact, interviewing you. And there were 2 questions that I forgot to ask. What public statements can you give for Elves and Rocktober Blood? He said, I don't answer rights questions when it comes to elves, which of course, why would he? And still searching for the elements, but no other updates since the last email that went out about Rocktober Blood. So they're still looking for that. So I made sure to ask public statements because obviously I'm not going to ask him privately. And if in the event he would have said something to me, then I would have said it. It would have been not good for me. That was public statements he had. But Brandon, you mentioned Frogman. I haven't watched it because I'm waiting for my set to come in. But apparently they're going to do a part 2 now because I think Frogman sold really well.
I think it did sell well. I saw it. I watched it.
Just give me a thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, or thumbs down. Okay.
Is it like an original movie that they made?
It's a newer movie. So, Brandon, I know that our Return of the Living Dead stuff should be shipping this week, so I'm looking forward to that.
Sweet.
He was telling me they just got all this stuff. I forgot they were in Florida too, so I think they had all their mail and all their stuff like on like pause. Like they just said none of their stuff was moving.
Dude, I'm fucking excited about that Rumpelstiltskin shit too, man.
Me too.
We talked all about that in the interview. I think you guys are gonna love hearing that. I didn't realize how long in the works all that stuff had actually been.
Hey, y'all have to wait for the interview to drop. I want to ask you if you asked about a certain item, but I don't know if I want to say that here.
For
What
Rumpelstiltskin?
No, I was going to ask about Pinocchio.
Pinocchio's Revenge?
I sort of always put them hand in hand back in the 90s.
I didn't talk to him about that, but then I can tell you this. Like he said, we talked about a lot. I talked to him a lot about his time with Vinegar Syndrome, why he left Vinegar Syndrome, and all that. And he went into it, so it's going to be an interesting listen for people. So, but in terms of rights for movies, he's not going to talk about that publicly because people could be listening to that and they could. It's a cutthroat business, you know.
Yeah,
go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, and like Pinocchio's Revenge, I think somebody told me that it's at Lionsgate, right? Pinocchio's Revenge?
Kind of, sort of, but I would have said the same thing about Rumpelstiltskin because Rumpelstiltskin was a company, Republic or something, and I thought that got swallowed up by Lionsgate, but sure enough, somehow Paramount had it.
Okay.
So I don't really know.
But yeah, I always put Rumpelstiltskin and Pinocchio's Revenge together.
Rumpelstiltskin is better than Leprechaun, and people that don't believe me clearly haven't seen Rumpelstiltskin. Yes, it is. Rumpelstiltskin is a bigger budget movie. It's crazier. The Kevin Yeager did the makeup, which Leprechaun makeup is incredible too.
I hate Yeager.
Why do you hate Yeager?
I'm kidding. I love him. He created Chucky. Of course, I love him.
Do you like Kevin Yeager's Chucky better, or do you like the guy who replaced him?
Tony Gardner?
Tony Gardner.
I want Kevin Yeager to come back so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Final thoughts, gentlemen. This is the last show clearly for Planet Dirty before Halloween. The only reason I was able to do this was because Sydney had to leave, so I just had the house to myself tonight. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen you guys again till next month. But here we are.
It's fun.
I thought it was at the last minute, but
I do want people. I dropped a video today. Go check it out. I went to Krispy Kreme and got the new Ghostbusters donuts and tried them on screen. Showed you guys what they look like inside, outside, everything. So go check out that video.
There you have it. Brian, what about you?
Be sure to pop over to my channel, at least on Halloween, for the Tabata Vision Halloween Special 2. It's going to be a good time. For all 7 of you that watch, it'll be a good time. And also, if you guys want to see my fan edit of Halloween Deluxe, message me. I got physical copies coming. I can't sell them, but I have physical copies coming, and they look fucking sweet.
We can always donate, though, can't we?
Yeah, if you want to become an executive producer on Son of the Vampire, I'll send you a free copy. I have 40 available.
City stole that jacket I bought. I mean, that crew neck sweater I bought, man, she wears it literally every day. I never get to wear it anymore.
But Cody, Christian, you guys, everybody in the chat will get one for free because I want you guys to see it for yourselves. But I will have 40 available.
Excellent. I'm excited.
So message me, people, on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok if you want to see the film for free as a digital file versus a physical copy. I'm going to have the account up through the beginning of November, and I'm taking it down for the year.
Hell yeah. Sounds good. So, what do you got there?
Oh, it's my baby.
Pull the cover off.
Oh, it's the Beetlejuice. Where'd you get that?
Oh
thing
my
from?
god, that's disturbing.
Check out my Beetlejuice review, guys. This little guy does not make an appearance in it, but this is my little baby.
Where
That
did he
thing-
come from?
That looks
He
like the baby from
NECA.
Dead Alive with
This is
face
NECA.
paint.
He looks pretty much like he does in the film, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah. This is a NECA replica.
Oh my god.
His eyeball moves.
That looks like Rodney, my pug.
I can't believe I didn't see that in theaters, dudes. I can't believe it.
I didn't either. I'm gonna get it on Blu-ray DVD.
Didn't see
I
Alien
really
Romulus either.
enjoyed it. And honestly, it was a movie I watched, and I was like, "There's no way anybody who's a fan of the original will not like this." But I was fucking wrong. 'Cause
If
people
they don't
are-
make a third one, I'm gonna fucking freak out because they
Oh, I
need to.
get-
They have to
I-
complete it now.
I guarantee you they will. But this little guy is my little treasure now.
Nice.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 3-hour mark.
It is 2:30.
I want to bless everybody. I want to give everybody thanks and praise in the chat tonight. Thanks for the super chats. We were Mountain Veteran, Movie Misfits, Big K, Robert A, Muzzak, JG Michael, everybody. Thank y'all so much. Saturn Video, Ethan Salat, how do you say his name? And Lives. I appreciate it, everybody tonight. Thank y'all so much. God bless you all. And with that, we say
Mongolian beef. It is off the chain. Oh, it's crispy. Dude, it's fantastic. That shit is fantastic.